All right, hello guys, and welcome to the final step of Trackmania Grand League 2021 fall season.
This guy's
I mean, it's almost Christmas.
Dude.
It's almost Christmas, and we started this back in October, early October. But today we will find out who wins in Challenger League and also who gets promoted. We will not find out who gets promoted. We'll find out who wins in both leagues. So in Challenger League and in Grand League. It's going to be exciting. We have 24 minutes left until match start. And, wow, there's a lot of implications. A lot of stuff to talk about. A lot that can happen this step. First of all, of course, the Challenger League in 23 minutes now. And then we have Grand League in 1 hour and 23 minutes. 2 hours? 2 hours, 23 minutes. Maths is difficult. Let's start with the Challenger League. Let's take a look here at the rankings right now. Going into this step, the final one, it is Mime, who is in the lead with 1,747 points. Ahead of OTAC with 1,575. And they are miles ahead of everyone else because they play the system to perfection. They play, the system for normal maps and then the last map with multipliers. And Mime and OTAC have both dared to go for the highest multipliers basically every step. And it's paid off big time. So it will be either Mime or OTAC winning in Challenger League. The others are mathematically out of that equation. But it's going to be an interesting battle. I think we will see most likely OTAC go for the 5x. Nothing to lose. If he gets the 5x and Mime gets like a 3x, it might be OTAC with the snipe. We don't know. Looking a bit down the scoreboard here, one thing to pay attention to is 8th and 9th place. The top 8 players will advance to the open. It's not open. It's Challenger League playoffs, where they fight for a spot to try to get promoted to Trackmania Grand League.
This guy's
so the division above.
Dude.
That's what they're playing for. So top 8 advance to there. Right now, Link holds the top 8 spot. Soldier is only 60 points behind. Dofal, sorry, not Soldier. Soldier 70 points behind. Cap is within reach, Rossi's within reach. Snow on a good day and Exotica on a good day could also get it. I mean, no one here is really out of that question. So if you get a high multiplier here in the last round, you could potentially just shoot up the scoreboard into top 8 and go to playoffs. So it's going to be, that's something to look out for. Because the new map is very interesting. It has a lot of ice, and we know that there are players in this field that do excel at that, but haven't really had the chance to show it yet this season. Then, later on tonight, we of course have the 16 Grand League players that you see here with Uffy, Aurel, Binks, Bren. Carl Jr. will not be playing today. Carl Jr., surprisingly, has an event, I think, he needs to attend to, so looking at the standings right now in the Grand League, Carl Jr. will not be making playoffs the regular way. There is still final chance next weekend he might get that spot, but as far as the top 8 here goes, Carl Jr. is out of the question. And that is a strange fact, that Carl Jr. is potentially not making playoffs, because the past 3 seasons he has won the playoffs every time. He's also won the World Championship, but now might not make it. But looking at that list, we see there's a huge fight for top 8 and for the win. Uffy right now barely in the lead ahead of Grenadi, who's barely ahead of Mudda and Aurel again. And it's going to be interesting what kind of multipliers they choose to go for here. They're already guaranteed in the top 8, so at this point it's kind of like you might as well go for a high multiplier. I think if you're Aurel or Gwen here, you are going for the 5x. I think you are. Maybe Musa too, but Musa has to be a bit careful. I talked to Eirik Holdal ahead of this match, and he brought up a very interesting stat, which is that Massa, in the 6 seasons of Trackmania Grand League so far, has not once made it to playoffs. This would be Massa's first Trackmania Grand League playoffs, if he makes it. He made it to World Cup, of course, but never to regular season playoffs. And now he has a chance to do so. It would be huge if he gets there. Also looking at, you know, I think we could say, you know, top 12 right now all have a chance for playoffs. And then the bottom 4 are a bit out of it, but they might. I mean, you can get 500 points, so. But it's most likely going to be a battle between the top 12 and the bottom 4 for those spots. But yeah, exciting. We have a new map. We also have the map pack for playoffs announced. We could probably take a look here. This is the map pack for today's match. It is Launchpad, Bolt Holes, Grasshopper, Throttling Act, and Icy Snake. So the Icy Snake is the new map in the map pack. You can see in every picture here the identity, the main obstacle part on each track. And that Icy Snake part, they drive on a very thin ice bridge, doing ice slides back and forth. That's very difficult. I think we will see players like Mudda, Massa, Gwen excel at that, because they are great ice players in general. We also have the map pack for playoffs, which means after today's step, this is the maps that players will be playing. They've added Poolside and Pool Party, and they've removed... they have removed Throttling Act and Grasshopper, I think. Poolside, a pleasant return, and Pool Party, a pleasant return as well. 2 great maps, pace-wise, and they're fun to watch. A playoffs without Grasshopper is an improvement in my books. I think that's a very wild map to have in the playoffs map pack. A Pool Party was there. Oh, then they added Pool Party and removed Throttling Act. That was the change. But I thought we should have a look at the track leaderboards. Always fun to check right before the match starts to see who's getting in the best practice right before we begin. So I'm gonna have a look here on the track leaderboards and just check real quick who's doing what. Let's pull this up. This, and this. Okay. Oh. So, let's take a look. Starting with Launchpad, the first map tonight. Massa has the world record here on paper, but we saw last weekend that Gwen beat this time in a match. Gwen drove 6:24.72 in a match. So Gwen has the world record as far as we know, but he hides his practice time, so wait. But, you know, pretty close. Not a lot of new personal bests here. I think players mostly have practiced this one, so they don't spend their efforts here, but pretty close times on the leaderboard by everyone. Then you have Bolt Holes, where actually, oh, look at this. Kappa 20 hours ago, new world record. 7:54.24. Gwen almost beat this one in a match, but now Kappa has it. Okay. Is Kappa going for a huge last step to try to recover? Kappa right now is in second last in the league, so could be good for him if he gets a nice step going. Bolt Holes. Grasshopper, oh my, okay. Pack with a new world record 17 hours ago. Mudda just an hour ago. Tween 8 hours ago. Grenadi 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago for Avalon here in the Challenger League. There's a lot of players practicing and getting personal best just before the match. But I think what we will see here is I think we will see the safe strategy. I think we will see the safe strategy happen. Because players tried risking last week and it did not work out well. Then you have Throttling Act, Grenadi with a 6:08. Which, considering, yeah, you drive about a minute per lap after the first one. That's a great time. 6:08 is very solid. Considering they were doing like 2:08, 2:09. Good rounds in the 2-lappers. Tween was a good time here as well. And then you have Muramasa, Otak. Okay. Still some players that we don't know, like Glenn. Like Mime, for example. Where is he? We don't know. But the most important map is always the last one. Icy Snake 2-lapper. You can see I have an impressive gold medal here. 11 seconds behind the pros. We have Mutta with the world record 2 days ago. 2:15.64. And Mutta, you should know, like there are 4 players right now that have a 2:15, right? Mutta posted this picture on Twitter that I want to share with you guys, which might strike a little bit of fear into his opponents. This is a screenshot of his replay files in the game. So he has 2:15.6, 2:15.9, 2:15.9, 2:15.9, 2:15.9, and 2:15.8. He has driven a time only 4 players could manage 6 times in practice, which makes him a solid favorite on this track. He's 3rd in the league. He'd have to beat Grenadi and he'd have to beat Offie on this map. We don't know where Offie is on the rankings. So we really don't know what to expect here. He'd also have to try to beat players like Glenn, who I think are fancying the 5x. Then in the Challenge League, we see Mime with a good time, 2:16. That was 4 hours ago. Avon has a good time here. Snow, Soldier, and Quattro. But we are not seeing Otak. We don't know what time Otak has, so again, the mind games. There could be new lines, there could be approaches that are hidden. We really don't know. But yeah. Yeah, no. If there's one day you're gonna go for the 5x, if you're Otak, it's probably the day where you're 200 points behind Mime. I think nothing to lose at this point. He's gonna all in. The question is Mime gonna follow him or is Mime gonna go for an earlier multiplier? And I think the same for Mutta. Mutta, nothing to lose by going for 5x. It's the last step. After this, if you don't know how the schedule of the season looks, right now we're at step 8, right? December 5th, that's today. Next weekend we have Final Chance, which is the last chance for players that are in the bottom 8 in the league to try to make it to the playoffs. Then the week after that, we have the final, where the top 9 players, so they add 1 from Final Chance, top 9, duke it out. And the winner of that match is the winner of the Grand League playoffs. And head-to-head in January is the relegation match, where someone from the Challenger League will face someone from the Grand League. And if they win, they get promoted to the highest level. So there's still more months of Trackmania content in the esports world coming up. And I really like how it's like, there's no real big wait, because, you know, after January, in February, the winter season starts. That goes kind of close to the summer, and then you have World Cup qualifiers, and then you have World Cup, and it's like a full year cycle. Only one? I think there can be 2 promotions. I think there can be 2. It's a complicated format. I won't get into it now, but only 2 players can promote. You're asking me to explain something very complicated here. But the way it works is like you have the bottom 4 Trackmania Grand League players, right? And they play against each other. So 13th versus 16th and 14th versus 15th. And the winner of each match is safe. But the loser has to then play the winner of Challenger League. There you go. There you go. Janik, thank you for the raid. With 100 people. What's up, Janik? Welcome all to the stream. We're about to start. Does that make sense? I can't explain it any better. But yeah, let me make sure I'm all set here. I'm gonna boot up the game, go into the server, because if all players are there, they're about to begin. Yep. Sorry you missed what was I explaining. Can I do that again? Basically, just know that in January we will see a match between Challenger and Grand League. And it's a question a lot of people ask, you know? How will Mime do when he's playing against the Grand League players? How will Otak do when he's no longer smurfing in Challenger League, but he's against the best of the best? Because these players have obviously shown they're a level above everyone else. They've shown that they are up there. They might earn a spot, but at the same time, what we're seeing now, we saw the same with Worker last season, where he was also doing incredibly well. And then this season in Grand League, his first Grand League season, he hasn't done as good as he was hoping for. So it can happen that you hit a wall when you go into Grand League. But guys, the players are all here except for, who is it? Anyone know? Can you like what's the game called? Spot Willy? Is that the game where you find the missing one? Who's the one who's not on the server? We are talking Challenger players. Waldo, yeah, the Waldo game. I don't know, we call it something else in Norwegian, but yeah. Default? No, he's here. He's first. Default is here. Link? Oh, he's got it! Quentar 82. I think the first to say Link. Link is not on the server. He is perhaps the missing link before we get this match underway. So let's just take a look here at the warm-ups. We know that Mime has a good time on paper. What you need to watch out for on this track is the rails. You see, these orange blocks are forced acceleration blocks. Once you cross them, the car will just accelerate. So here, for example, Soldier crossing the block, the car will just go. So you have to make sure that you're not too fast going into it, or else you're never making the turn. Gotta watch out for rails. We are still there. Now guys, we're about to begin. Let's quit messing around. We're about to load on to our first map here, I think. Just one more warm-up on today's final map, which is Icy Snake. Here are the standings once again. The two parts of the scoreboard to pay attention to. Top 3 there, or top 2, the battle for the win. And also the battle for reaching top 8. Everyone here wants to be at least top 8, because then you get into the Challenger playoffs. And Mime and Otak are going to fight for the win. But this is a map where, you know, we haven't really seen too many hidden records. A lot of players have practiced this on stream or, you know, in the open, which might mean that a lot of it is just, there's no hidden tricks, but it's more raw pace to decide this one. There's one trick I see players go for, which is this outside dirt turn here. If you stay in the banking, build up speed, maintain the gear, that saves you a little bit of time. And here's the identity. Wide setup before the ice slide, very close around the turn. So you can set up this one close as well, set up the last one early, and then do a long ice slide here into the finish. When we have multipliers here on the line, we are going to see players risk these. like no tomorrow. You kind of just have to, I mean, you have to just set up your car sideways and just go into it. No hesitation. Like here, wide setup, and then you just gotta go for it. Tilt the car back. Set up for the second one. No, they're a bit shaky here, Avon and Stat Link by his side. They got through though. This will be the final map tonight, guys. The last map. So just some last minute practice here. But now we are once again missing one player. Can anyone spot who it is? Because we only have 15 of 16. It's again a game of Where's Waldo? Snow. Oh, Snow's a good guess. I think Kubas was first. But it looks like Snow is missing. Here we have a lot of snow. I had to plow my entire driveway free of snow today. So if they're missing some, I can send them some. I have a lot. I have plenty. Oh, they found some. All right, snow's in, ready to go. It's actually frustrating that plow and mow doesn't rhyme. Because they should. As a non-native English speaker, it should be plow and mow. Or plow and mow, but that doesn't work. Anyways, Trackmania Grand League, Trackmania Esports. We are on Launchpad. I do love Trackmania Esports, and I hope you do too, because we have about 2 hours of great matches coming up, the final steps of first Challenger League, and then the Grand League later on. This is a map that will be familiar to those who've watched in the past, but here we see some ice turns, which is pretty rare this season, only one of 2 maps with ice, a lot of plastic, and then this reactor booster identity where you fly through the rings and back into the finish. Let's take a look at how the players handle this in the warm-up. Now, we know this to be a good map for Mime, who almost broke the world record here. Got a 6:25 in a match. Avon, also really good on this track. And then Energized, the player we're expecting right now, won in the 5 times multiplier on this map when it was a 2-lapper. So I think it will be between Mime, Otak, and Avon perhaps for the win here. As through 6 laps, they'll just be able to drive a little bit riskier lines and build up a big lead. But here you can see the identity. Jump, fly through the rings, and oh, if you crash the ring, that's a big respawn. So you gotta make sure not to do that. But Avon here showcasing how difficult it really is to get through those rings cleanly. You want to carry as much speed as possible, but you gotta aim that gap and slow down appropriately. And here he's really not getting a feeling for it in the warm-up, so that looks good though. That's the line he was looking to get. But the race is about to begin. First map of Challenger League. Let's go. On board with Avon here. There's 2 lines in the start. I think we just saw Mime go for it. Let's take a look at Mime. Yeah, Mime has this high speed line in the start. Oh. Some stuff still to be ironed out by the looks of it. But take a look at the Mime line while we're waiting. No, he's going for the low approach. Thought he went for this high line that Gwen found. seems he has changed it up. But we can quickly talk about this ice turn too, because it is a difficult one. Here, in order to get this ice slide that you see the players do, they have to turn their car sideways and then steer opposite. But it's not really that simple at this level, because I've tried this and I lose about half a second to what these players are doing every single lap in that part, because you have to get the exact right angle so that the car gears up appropriately and then release to land back straight on the next platform. Very difficult to do at the highest level. And this is one of the sections where Mime and Ebon gain the most on other players. You also have the reactors where a lot can happen. But the ice is where we see the leads really start to build up. Oh, chat's found the missing Waldo before I even called it out. It's default missing right now. Some stuff to be resolved. So here, the car shifts gear and you really have to be in a good angle when that occurs. I'm really curious now, if you're in Revolution's position, like, how much did you put into this step? If we take a look at the rankings, Revolution with 91 points, he could be the world's biggest troll and just go for the 5x multiplier in the last round. Nothing to lose at this point. Could just try to deny the others in the 5x round later and just... Yeah, I took that one. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to. But, you know, if he gets that and has a good step, 5x with, like, let's say 40 points, that's 200 points. And suddenly you could start to climb a few spots. Default is back. I think that means they are about to give the green light to start the race. If all players are ready. Let's take a look. We are live here. I saw one car stand at the starting line, so it's another debate as we still have some stuff to fix, but now we can look at the ice line once again. Patience is a virtue, guys. Patience is a virtue. It's best that these things are handled now, you know? So we get a clean race once everything begins. At least that's the goal. And I think with this, let's not call it too soon, but... Oh, there was a car on the starting line again. Are we live though, once and for all? Into the final step of the Challenger League. Looks like Default not driving at the moment. But if they've set a starting time, then this is live. So we will continue as if it's live until anything happens. Oh, one car into the checkpoint there on the ice. Tried to set up for more speed. That was Soldier by the looks of it on the splits. Drops into 15th place there. And with that, he's one of the first mistakes that we see. The others, very even field here, but as expected, Mime, Otak, and Evon in top 3. And this is a small lead for now, But the way they might be driving, that could extend, but no. Mime goes straight into the first checkpoint on the identity. Trying to fly through the ring, does not get the line. And Mime instantly on the back foot here. As we also see Otak. Otak dropped as well. There were huge mistakes. Revolution and Fegley both also crashing in the identity. This changes things up here. Either Mime or Otak could be heavily punished by the other player in the fight for first place in the league. But since they both failed, that makes things very interesting. Link sliding out on the ice here. Oh, very awkward line. He's just gonna lose time up until the next reactor. Gets a good release there though, but the damage has been done and the Mimes found himself someone to try to chase down to get into top 8. Let's take a look at the top 3 players going for the identity again. This jump is not easy. We saw Evon struggle in the warm-up here. Clean line through the ring, down through the reactor, but Energize going too wide into the water, and he's just gonna have to drive this now with wet tires. So that's a big mistake because this does not go off until you get to the grass, so very difficult to recover. And we mentioned Evon was going to compete with Mime and Otak for this. Suddenly it's just open road ahead. There's no one. He's leading this race by over a second. Down to almost everyone. The Wosal keeping up close though. But the gaps here are building up quick. The Mime's back in the top 8. Otak almost climbed up into the green as well. Let's follow from Hadra here then. Default here with the DNF. Apparently some issue that made him unable to start this race, but he will be back for the next one. Of course, unfortunate, but what can you do? Let's take a look at the remaining players. Maybe a Default is just waiting for the 3x in map number 2. Maybe he's going to come back strong on that one. Some new strategy in the final step. Who knows? We still see Evon driving much faster than Wosal. And I think if you're Wosal here, you really aren't trying to catch Evon. You're just trying to not be in the red. You know, there's this one story of the 2 gazelles on the savannah. And they're talking. And they spot a lion. And they say, oh, there's a lion. And the one gazelle says, yeah, I'm just gonna run. And the other gazelle says, but you're not gonna run faster than a lion. And then the gazelle answers that I don't need to outrun the lion. I just need to outrun you. So Wosal here, being a gazelle, is not trying to win. He's just trying to not get last, I think. Just trying to save a top 8. Whereas the lion and Mime and Otak, they can climb as much as they want. Otak back in top 7. Mime with another mistake down in 11th, but maybe still doable. They have 2 laps to go. See Cap and Soldier close battle for 5th. Of course, the reason we talk about top 8 being so valuable is that if you get 8th place, you get 15 points. If you get 9th, you only get 5. So there's a 10-point gap between 8th and 9th. Which is why it's very important to stay in the green. If you get 4 8th places, that's 60 points. If you get 4 9th places, that's only 20 points. And with multipliers and all, that's huge. But now, for the second last time in the identity, we see Evon still made it in first, Wosal second, Hadra third. And then Rossi, Soldier, and Cap do also make it. Otak to run out the top 8 for now into the last lap. McQuattro, though, with the new fastest lap of this race, only 1 second from safety. And considering the comeback that Otak has to make in this step, gaining 11 points on Mime here would be massive. If you can get 11 more points than Mime on this map, he can start to build a scoreline that he can maybe multiply to catch up for the overall season win. So he needs Mime to stay in the red and he needs to stay in the green himself. And right now he's just barely hanging on as the top 3 players are entering the final jump here. Avon clear first all race. After Mime and Otak disappeared, it was a walk in the park for him. Closing out 627, Wosal second, Hedra third, Rossi in fourth, Soulja getting fifth, just barely ahead of Cap, and Snow and Otak in eighth. McQuattro tried, but it just wasn't enough. 0.8 seconds away from the big scores. Mime in 10th, but he gets the fastest lap. And then you have Nixotica energized, Link, Revolution, and Fegly, who will most likely have a DNF here, Fegly. As I think he has gotten a disconnect. The car at least appears that way. Let's see now. Should be Evan in the lead, and that is pretty good for him in the battle for third. Now 100 points ahead of Hedra. But there's still a lot of Trackmania to be played. Map 2, coming right up, is Bolt Holes. This track had a new world record set today by the player Kappa, a 6:54. But we know many players in the Challenger League have personal bests under 7 minutes. 6:57, 6:58, 6:59. And it's very likely we will see a race at that pace now. Mime with a mistake, probably eager to prove that he can do it cleaner. Same goes for Otak, who just barely got into safety. And also Link is one of the players fastest on this map on paper. We can see in the warm-up here, it's a high-pace map. The players reach over 450 speed. So perhaps a nose boost on that landing. Maybe in a couple of years. Not yet. For now, we're just driving as normal. But it's a high-speed map with a lot of tricky turns. Here we go on the reactor booster walls. Into a sharp downhill. Want to stay in the upper gear through that turn. Just barely holding on to the third gear. Jump onto the grass here. Also barely hanging onto the gear. Before another full speed part. Where we are getting towards the identity. The identity on bolt holes is that you jump through the holes in the bolts. There are 3 jumps here. The first one, not the hardest one, if you just go straight for it. But the last one here can be a bit tricky, just lining up far enough left to land on the road. You have to do this 3 times per lap. So you're looking at 18 jumps through the course of 6 laps. And just if you're a little bit off on your aim on those jumps, you will lose a lot of positions. You have to nail every single jump if you want to win here. Let's see how they do. Wiggle here on the plastic to get an early gear shift. And now they're going to drive with the highest gear, the 5th gear of the car, all the way through the loop into the downhill. And we talked a lot about like remaining in gears, keeping gears. Basically, the Trackmania car changes gears automatically. And it does so when you reach certain RPM thresholds. Oh no! Mime with a bit of a painful double crash here. Down into 16th place. What it means though with the gears is that if you go into a turn and you release too much, or you drop too much speed, too much RPM, the car then thinks, yeah, I gotta drop down a gear, and then you lose speed. So you gotta stay right on the correct side of the thresholds. The players have gotten that pretty well so far. First lap done. And just the jumps to go. Looked like Hedra with a mistake there. On the first one, Dofault. Weird approach clipping. It's a big mistake for Dofault. I think we lost 2 players here. And Link has made a big mistake. Link, we said, might do well here. Big mistake for him. Snow dropping down a little bit as well. And Mime's 1 second crash in the opener lap. If he can keep up pace for the rest of it, it will not be as costly. See if he can redeem himself on the second lap here. This tight inside drift is what caused him to crash this time much better. Although a little shaky still. Losing 0.2 of a second to Otak in first. With that line. But recovering here. Good line on the dirt. Slowly getting closer to Rossi and Cap here. Just a little bit more speed across the grass. And this will stay that way all the way until the sharp corner. Where he's now almost made it up entirely. But we'll see if he thinks he has to risk on the jump. Some players go a little too fast here. And it looks like we have a big car crash back there. Gonna take stock of what just happened when we get to the multi-lap. We see who dropped. It was Otak, who crashed actually. Otak from first down to 11th with that mistake. And is this gonna be the reverse now? With Mime getting points, whereas Otak goes into the red. It can be difficult to gain 2 seconds on this track. Just because there isn't that many very technical parts. Maybe here is the most technical section where you can start to see big differences, but it's going to be an uphill struggle for Otak to regain all of that. So we take a look up in first. Positive surprise here to see Nixotica, who hasn't had the greatest season. Now 3 points from the first map, but this could be big. If he goes top 3, gets over 20 points on both holes. Playoff still isn't out of the question for him. The top 8 players in the field go into playoffs, and if you build up a good scoreline and then get a 5x multiplier, you could save yourself. Avon having to go for the safe approach there on the booster. Did not have sufficient speed for the jump. Good of him to see that instantly, as now with Rossi dropping down, Otak is back into the green position. 8th place for him right now. And 1 second up to the next player, being Cap. So maybe again, just barely hanging on, but that's what you gotta do. If you can get top 8 consistently, you are looking good for a step win. Quattro still hanging on, but Mime, the Lion, has reeled him in. And now the question is, McQuattro, do you fight for this position, or do you just say, you know what, I'm gonna drive my pace. Mime, if you want to drive this fast, go for it. You can have it. We'll see. For now, McQuattro's holding on. Driving good lines, keeping a lot of speed, but Mime just has no fear. He goes with more speed into the jump, lands more on the side, gets an earlier landing here, and it should probably be a new lead for Mime. I think it's a question of time here. McQuattro holding on really strong though. It almost looks like it's just one car due to how similar the racing lines are, but there, Mime finds a small improvement, and with that, takes first place for now. 1 car length ahead with 2 laps to go. Different approaches for the wall ride jump. McQuattro going a bit high. Mime will take that as an opportunity to extend. The perfect wall ride landing. And now he is just building up a decent lead to the others. This could be 25 points for Mime. The fastest lap from Otak is going to be hard to beat, as 1:18.4 is a great lap time. I think no one is going to be able to get close to that without risking very recklessly in the last lap. Oh, McQuattro releasing a lot there. Losing a lot of speed to Avon, who has been able to keep up with Mime's pace. Just half a second behind the Polish player, but we're going into the last lap. Is there going to be any changes of positions here? Soldier in 9th, half a second behind Hedra in 8th. Soldier had 18 points from the first map, would love another 15 points here by getting into the top 8, but it's gonna be tricky. So difficult to gain that amount of time here. And in the top 4, we're not seeing any big changes. Otak is closing in a little bit though. If Otak manages to get all the way back into second here, that would be incredible. It looks like Mime has this under control, but the battle for second is still on, and Otak is not out of that fight. Right now, Evan and McQuattro side by side, but Otak with a wider setup, with more speed across the penalty grass, is getting closer. Will he risk with a lot of speed on this jump? No, that's not going to be it for Otak. He might make it, but he will not overtake here unless there's a mistake. Mime getting a clean last jump, winning ahead of Evan and McQuattro. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did Mime slow down in the finish line? It looked like Mime slowed down ahead of the finish line. Maybe trying to tease his opponents a little bit. But that will be Evan winning ahead of Mime, McQuattro, and then Otak. Super close fight there. All within 0.3 of a second. Soldier actually secured the 8th place and gets another 15. Energized, just barely out of it there. Unfortunate for him. Let's see what this does to the standings. Evan now with 50 points after 2 maps. Actually a perfect score, not counting fast laps. Hedra in second and Otak in third. 50 out of 54 points for Evan, only missing the fast laps. Let's take a look at map 3 here. Coming up is Grasshopper, which is a map that is very interesting for interesting reasons. It's interesting for interesting reasons. This track has a strategy. We saw players try it last week. It's the bug slide, where on this part right here, you can land sideways in a slide and then bounce up to the next platform. The only question is, can you do that 6 times in a row reliably? They tried it last week and nobody survived. Everyone who tried it failed, and the players who drove a safer line won. But if you succeed with that Grasshopper bug slide line, you gain about half a second to a second per lap. So let's see who does it here in the warm-up. I think we're gonna put the camera on Hedra here. Will any of these players in this field go for it? If they do, you will see them go to the left here. No, none of them are doing it. That is, of course, understandable, as it is very risky. Mime, though. Hello. This is the line we're talking about. Maintaining speed, landing sideways, bug slide to the left, and then try to bounce and land back on the platform. He's experimenting with it. He, of course, knows the line. Question is, will he do it in the live round? It would be foolish, I think, to try, but if you're in first and you feel like you have nothing to lose, maybe it's worth it for the style points. Just sharpen your jawline a little bit here in the final Challenger League step. But we are off on Grasshopper, first lap. World record being a 6:04 here, I think. with the safe approaches, but an instant skip as some stuff is being resolved in the background. I think we have another quick warm-up before the race begins. Alright, I've just checked the leaderboards, and we see Dark is actually the player with the fastest time that isn't in the Grand League. After that, Evon currently with the fastest time in 11th. So Evon has a personal best here for 6:08. But what I have been told is that the map was updated. So there is a chance that someone has an even faster time on the old version. We could have a personal best of 6:05. We don't know. But now we are well and truly into it. We did see Mime try the line in the warm-up. He has already crashed. The question is, will he go for it? Or will he try to defend his first place in the league and drive safe? Understandable. And I'm deciding to save it. He was teasing us a little bit with the trick in the warm-up, but 6 laps in a row is just a bit too much to ask for, and that is how he will choose to play it here. But the strategy can actually come in the last lap. That is something we might see. In the very last lap on this one, if you're in 9th and you are half a second behind 8th, could just go for it. We see a big mistake by Link. Big respawn. Wosal and Revolution have dropped down as well. Evon still in first, way ahead of the others. Before we go towards the second identity. So the safe line here, early drop to the right, try to land as left as possible so you can get a straight approach to the bumper. And you see Cap, oh my, how is he still alive? That was a risky approach, but yes, the most direct line you can drive is the best one. Looked like he was headed for the wall, but beautiful demonstration of how it's done. So now let's follow. Here in this downhill, the players actually release the acceleration. And it's in order to avoid a gear shift. The players intentionally slow down so that the car doesn't shift gears in the uphill. And they instead shift on the next platform. Because the car goes faster uphill in the lower gear. Pretty clever tactic by all the players. Something you don't really see, but if you play the map, it's what is the best way to do it. Now, once again, across the bumpers. Don't go too wide. Don't land too sideways. Snow with good exit speed. Despite an awkward line, catching up in 5th. But there's a huge fight here for first. Rossi, Evon, Otak, and Energized. All within 1 second of one another. And we did mention Evon as one of the favorites. But very good surprise to see Rossi here. And what happened? I think Evon might have had the gear shift. Or a small mistake there. Evon losing a lot of time to the others. Almost 2 seconds in that one part. Because it's so much full speed driving right after he crashed. That then puts Otak in first. He needs to gain a lot of points against Mime and then win a big multiplier to win the Challenger League. It's the only way to the top for him. He's second right now in the overall standings. Some 200 points behind. Rossi still in first as we see McQuattro, new best lap. Although in 10th. Good attempt at recovery, but Wosal in 15th with a new fastest lap. This is something that we actually see pretty often. If you're driving slow and you make a mistake, the players just go risk for the fastest lap. So I think Wosal in 15th used the strategy there to get the fastest lap time and get 2 extra points. But Avon dropped all the way from 1st to 10th now. Had a perfect 2 wins out of 2 going into this. Will most likely not be a 3rd. As we're crossing the finish line. Going into the last lap, Rossi still in the lead. Looking to win this map. Ahead of 4 French players. Chasing him down. Followed by Mime. And if you're in McQuattro's spot here, can you catch Fegley? Or will you, in the last lap, try the strategy to recover? Oh, he's gaining a lot here. Big speed difference between Fegley and McQuattro. Maybe it's within reach to get into the green positions, but if you're in 9th, you're thinking about this right now. Let's take a look at the battle for first. Energize is losing, but Otak keeping up with Rossi. 1 more identity to go. 2 bumpers to hit perfectly. Otak too wide, I think. And that is going to be Rossi winning this map ahead of Otak. And now the battle for 8th. McQuattro still ahead of Fegley. Fegley losing out. A bit too wide on the turn. And McQuattro will secure that 8th place. We had Energized in 3rd. Snow 4th. Cap 5th. Mime 6th. Nixotica and McQuattro. And Evo now dropping really far. But could this be a new best lap? No, it's not. I think he went for it, but it was not the fastest lap time. Alright, Otak now overtaking the lead in the match, ahead of Cap, ahead of Mime and Avon. We have 1 more 6-lapper to go. Throttling Act by Bonanno. We've seen this map in 2-lap format last weekend. That time it was all-out fireworks as players just threw their cars onto the rails to try to take them with the most amount of speed. Here I think we will see a bit more safe play come out, as you have to survive those rails for 6 laps in a row. The theme of this map is forced acceleration. So once you're on those rails, your car accelerates and you can't stop it. You just have to steer the car across the rail, or else you fall off. There are no brakes anymore once you go onto the rails. The map, apart from that, very high speed. Really tough corners here when you have 420 speed into a sharp tech turn. Players all managed. And then here you can do a small speed slide on the plastic, speed slide on the platform, then go into the dirt. Take a wide approach for a lot of speed towards the next plastic wall. And then after this quarter pipe jump, we have the identity, where this orange block right here gives you forced acceleration. You can no longer slow down after you cross it, so you just have to work with what you have. And oh my, had it almost too fast in the warm-up. But doing that 6 times requires surgeon precision. You have to commit at the exact right time to get the car across to the other side. Last couple of seconds here. Time to stretch. Maybe take a sip of water. Check your posture. And then get ready for 6 intense minutes of driving on Throttling Act. Well, let's see how the players do. Avon, I think, already with an early mistake. Touched the checkpoint on the inside. Also a bad gear shift. Gonna cost him further time to the others. That's 1 second lost in the opening. And that can really, you know, put you off your game. If you're trying to come back into a match and you make a mistake early, even a small one, it can be so hard to recover from, energized straight into the wall. Down to 16th. As the others continue. 6 seconds was the time loss. But I think this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will start seeing the big gaps now. All the cars onto the rail. Fegley goes off on the first one. Second rail here. Revolution slowing down enough. Dolphalt on the inside has to respawn. And we've lost 2. 3 with snow. As 12 players remain. Mime with a small mistake too. But this is not that costly on a map like Throttling Act. There will be more mistakes on this. It is such a difficult track to drive consistently that not a lot of players can manage to get through this scot-free. Quattro now though. Almost keeping up with Otak. In first. And we know McQuattro has had a pretty stable season. He's been able to get a couple of points and then multiply them, getting doubles usually. Here in the last stop, he's looking good. He's looking on his form. Will he be able to go for a higher multiplier maybe? That would be something. Avon, after his early mistake, back into the top 8. This is still a great step, all things considered. If he gets another top 8 position here, put him at over 60 points in total. And really, it would also put him into the fight for like securing 3rd place. Hedra had a chance, but if Avon's keeping up, it's gonna be very tough for Hedra to get top 3 in the overall standings. Across the LMC once again. Did Mime make it? He did, and he is reeling in Soldier. Now 8th place in the race, back into the green. Another top 8 here would mean that Otak actually probably has to get the 5x if Mime gets any multiplier in this match. So I feel like we are really just waiting here for someone to trip. I mean, they're driving super consistent right now, Otak and Quattro. It only takes one moment where you're not fully focused, fully in it to clip and fall off, and that is now Otak into 1st place. McQuattro with a big respawn here, down in 6th, 4.5 seconds lost. The identity being so difficult that you could do it clean 4 times, but the 5th one will get you. And the gaps are getting bigger and bigger between the players. Almost 20 seconds now overall. Rossi, huge mistake there on the corner. Will it cost him 8th place? Not yet. Still in top 8, Rossi, after that big crash. But Evon, that's a comeback and a half from last to first now. Question was if he could keep up after the mistake, and looking at this, he's done more than enough to prove that he can. Oh no, McQuattro. Another one off the pipe. But he's still in top 8. So, actually feeling pretty safe here at that with 1 lap to go. Evon going into the wall though on the sausage turn. That is gonna... Oh, he respawned actually. Or did he? No. Oh, Evon's gonna have less speed for this entire part. That mistake is more costly than you might think. The speed never equalizes here until this turn. And he lost 6 seconds with that one crash. But it is Otak looking for 25 more points here to add to his tally. This is the performance of someone who wants to win Trackmania Grand League Challenger Division. And Evon Mime has to be very careful to not let him get too close. Otak will win this map ahead of Hedra, ahead of Mime, I think. Mime crossing the finish line there. McQuattro, Evon, and Link. Top 6. Wosal rounding it out in 8th. And that's going to be the green scores. Nixotica, Rossi, Revolution, Energized Cap, Fegley, Dofalt, and Snow not making it. And oh, Otak was almost going to get the 27. But Cap sniping the fastest lap there, taking 2 points for himself. Let's see the scores. Otak with 83, Evon 69, Mime 65, Hedra 63, McQuattro, Cap, Soldier, and Rossi. Huge score lines that can be multiplied. We are going on to the final map of this season that we have not seen him play. Icy Snake being the map where the identity is to drive very tight ice corners 2 laps in a row. Apart from that, some pretty nice dirt parts here, some tech parts here. You can see the identity of the ice part before crossing the finish line and doing it over again. This part of the tournament is gonna need some explanation. Let's take the case of Fegley here. Right now, Fegley has 10 points. After the warm-up, all 16 players will play 1 round, where the winner of that round will double their points. So if Fegley wins that round, he would have 20 points. But if Fegley plays it cool, he could wait for the next 4 rounds and intentionally not win, so that he could get a bigger multiplier. Because the 5th round, the multiplier is 3x. Same for the 6th round. In the 7th round, there's a 4x multiplier for the winner. And in the 8th and final round, you could 5 times your points, quintuple your points. Now for Fegley, that's not too big of a difference. But if you consider Otak, if Otak wins early, he could have 166 points. However, if he waits and he manages to win the 5x multiplier, he could have 415 points. And that's quite the difference, several hundred points difference. If you wait and try to win the last round, you can only win once, and there are only 8 winners. 16 players get out of the 16 players, 8 players get nothing at all. So it's a risk-reward game, this one. Do you win early and secure a low multiplier, or do you play it risky and try to get a high one? We already see Dofalt waiting on the start here. Does not look too interested. Revolution also DNFs in the 2x round. So yeah, guys, I think we're gonna see a record number of players wanting to go for the 5x. I'm curious who would want the 2x. Maybe Avon. I think Avon, with the 2x, would feel pretty safe about third in the league. He is one player I could see going for this. Hedra, I don't think can afford it for third. If he just wants top 8 though, he can take it. But right now, we never know. Players can also hit the DNF button just ahead of the finish line. But let's see how they do on the first identity. You want to set up far from the right side so you can get a very sharp inside approach from each ice slide here. Mime doing it very well. Catching up to the others and then straightening the car just before the platform to go down the hill with full grip. Link ahead of Soldier. After lap 1, we see a 1:09.48 split. Gonna keep that in mind for later rounds. Let's take a look at who has the best lines here. After the water part, you want to keep full grip, low air time on the jump, set up wide in the dirt, and then just a smooth line through here. Bit wide before this downhill. Here, the purple block gives you no steering, so you can't steer the car until the reset. Gotta aim for that one. But maybe Soldier could gain a bit back in the dirt here. Wide turn. Try to stay on the outside. He's getting a little closer, Soldier. Is it gonna be enough though? Oh, Link crashes. This is in Soldier's hands right now. Hadra the closest to follow. Still half a second behind. Can Soldier get a good last ice slide? Will he want this one? Nope. It's gonna be Hadra. Soldier showing he wants more. Just hits the DNF button and says, yeah, alright, I'll go again next time. You can have the 2x. Hedra, though, doubling his points. Let's see what that does to the standings. Hedra will not get third here with that. But 911 points is still a really good score for a Grand League season, so he can be happy with that. Second round on this one. 7 multipliers left. I think even if you're gonna retire, you still want to do play each round. You still want to warm up, get into the groove of the map, drive a couple of runs, and then you could just hit retire before the finish line. Because if you don't and you just retire instantly, it could be that you're then not ready when you're gonna drive. So I think a lot of players here are driving, but they're not actually gonna try to win. But now, for sure, if Avon wins a round, he is guaranteed third place in the league. Just about. And he can't get second or first, so would be a good time to try to close it out. But he goes off the ice, loses the gear there, and then there is no recovering. Same for Soldier in this round. A little bit too wide. We see 1:09.53 here by Mime, which was a strong opener lap. The time Hedra won with was a 2:16.94. The world record is a 2:15.6 by Mudda. So about 1 second off the perfect run is what they're driving right now. 2 really clean laps on this map will give you a 2:15. Only 4 players in the world have been able to do that. And anything close to that is already mightily impressive. So Mime showing he has the pace here, but I don't think he's gonna want this. There is just no way Mime wants to win this round. Like, he is capping. It's Wosao versus Energized in the lead here, I think. And Wosao has a good ice slide. He goes a little too wide, though. Energized overtaking. Does Wosao have a good line for the third? Mime, it's his if he wants it, but no. Yeah, he's trolling. Wosao trolled as well. It's Snow. Okay, I think we had 6 DNFs in that round. 6 DNFs to wait for the bigger multipliers. So Snow will take that one. 82 points. The question really is, and this has never happened before, will we have a scenario where no one wants the final 2x? This has not happened. There's always someone who wants the multiplier, but now in the final step, I don't know what happens if they all retire. If they all just say, you know what, let's wait. Because they can. I think they can do that. We see Revolution, DNF, Nexotica, big mistake, Avalon, big mistake. It really only starts here with Fegley, the battle for the win. I think then, in that case, if all players retire, the multiplier would just be skipped, and they would go to a 3x round instead. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting problem. Someone is going to walk home empty-handed. Not all the players retiring right now are going to profit from it. Like, they could have had a 2x, but they risked it for the big one, and they're not all going to get it. Question is who? It's going to be Otak, Mime, Soldier, McQuattro. About the same pace here, 109.5, 109.6 for the opener lap. Soldier looking strong though. He had a fast pace in the first round because he was ahead of Hedra. So about 216 mid for him. We see Link with a mistake. But yeah, guys, I don't think they're going to go for this. It might still be Link in the lead if you think about it technically. It might be Link right now in the lead. But the question is, will he want a bigger multiplier? Because he's on the battle for top 8. Just on the edge of it. Let's just quickly see. Yeah, Link is in 8th. 40 points ahead of Soldier. And as long as Soldier hasn't closed out his race, Link really can't afford to either. I think Link has to wait for Soldier to win first to beat his multiplier. But they're in the final part. I don't expect either Otak or Soldier will close it out here. No, they will not. Link, he's waiting. Who's gonna take this? Is it McQuattro? McQuattro winning with a 223 as everyone else doesn't want it. Okay, McQuattro doubling there. 108 points. 18 points. And you know, he's safe in the top 8 with that. Most likely. So it's an understandable decision. He thinks he's safe with 746. We'll have to see if that's the case. Dofalt's still waiting. Dofalt, I think he's going to try to deny the 5x. I mean, you have 5 points. There's nothing really else to do than to go for the 5x. So, same for Revolution. They're just going to try to play denial for the 5x. But the others here, this is the last 2x round. I think... Wait, we gotta take a look at the scores. Would Rossi want this? No. Guys, Rossi's not gonna take this one. He needs a bigger one. Nexotica might take this. To be honest, Nexotica might. But I think Cap, Soldier, Link, Dofalt, Rossi, they're all gonna wait. And so are Otak and Mime. Maybe Energized? Energized might take this. Avon or Energized are like the only 2 players that I think want to win this round. There's a lot of mistakes here though. So we'll have to see how they shake up. Rossi's still in the lead ahead of Energized. But yeah, imagine being a player right now in this field and you're trying to do all the maths. Like, okay, if he wins, then I need to get a 3x. But if I win, he needs to not get the 4x. And you're sitting there while driving a difficult map like, should I win? Should I not win? What's the strategy? As we see more and more cars disappear here, it's Energized versus Nexotica for the lead right now. A lot of players have retired. After this round, the multipliers get bigger. But right now, a 2x multiplier at stake. Nexotica versus Energized. And I think Energized will feel pretty safe if he gets this. Looks like he's going for it. Not holding back at all here. Going into the ice, bit wider on the setup. Exotica might be able to gain a little bit. Better approach for the last turn from Exotica, but more speed from Energized, who goes off the edge. And Exotica as well. It's Fegley winning. That's last 2x multiplier. So, yeah. There is a lot at stake here. I think about 10 players had the chance to win around here and denied it. About 10 of them. Now the multipliers are worth 3 times your points. If you take the case of OTAC, 3 times 83 would be a whopping 249 points. But he doesn't want that. We've watched this season enough to know that OTAC, he'll happily say no to 249 points for the chance of winning a bigger scoreline. And if he does that, then Mime has to do so as well. Because he can't get a 3x if OTAC gets the 5x. So it's an interesting problem here. I think Avon certainly looking for this one. Wosal as well. Link definitely wanting it. Wide setup for the ice. As some players disappear from the fight on the turns here. Very difficult to weave the car across the ice bridge. We see a new fastest opener lap from Mime. 1:09.47. Only OTAC able to follow that. The rest are losing time. Exotica just crashed in the frame there. And there goes Mime. So now OTAC has a 3x in his hands if he wants that. But who are we kidding here? OTAC has nothing to lose by going for the 5x. He is just warming up here. It's actually Wosal in the lead, ahead of Soldier. And if we quickly take a look at the scores, I think Soldier would want to take this one. If Soldier wins here, he could maybe secure the 8th place in the league. Let's see here. Last ice part. He's gonna try for it. Wosal still in the lead. But Soldier's getting a little closer. OTAC will retire. And Wosal wins there. 129 points for him. As expected. You know, it is. We've seen it all season. I think no one was shocked that OTAC retired there. But it's a strategy that he and Mime has used to great effect. Like, that's the reason why they are so shockingly far ahead on the scoreboard. 1,800 points, 1,600 points. They've denied the chance to win at 3x a lot of the time, to go for 4x and 5x. And it has paid off. So now we have 11 players left and only 3 multipliers. This will decide the season. Which 3 players get this multiplier? So many are fighting for it. So we see a big mistake there, I think from Default, respawning. But the one big question mark for me is Avon. Is Avon trying to get the 5x here in the last one? Since he doesn't have anything to lose by going for it? It could very well be that Avon is also going for the 5x. Now that I think about it. But someone's gonna want the 3x. Soldier, I think, the most likely candidate. If there's a retire fest, Soldier is going to be the most likely candidate to secure this one. With these points, Soldier could get top 8. And we know Mime is most likely retiring. Question is Avon. Will Avon retire or will he try to win this round? Right now, Nothing certain yet. The gap is 0.4 of a second. Between Soldier and Evon. We're not really considering Mime, but now we'll have to as Evon goes off the track. Will Mime want to win here? Secure a 3x. Get 195 points, or will Soldier get 150? Wait! There's a snipe! From downtown, Rossi puts his sunglasses on and slides into the finish. Securing the 3x. Rossi getting 147 points. And with that, Rossi now takes the 8th place in the league. The top 8. Link has to win a 4x to secure himself. Same for Soldier. It's their only chance. Cap as well. They need the 4x or better. And Link has made a mistake in the start. Oh, Cap goes off. Cap has one final chance to get into top 8 here. In the next round, right now. 4x multiplier. I think everyone is trying for real. Except for Otak. Mime will try to win this one. If Mime wins here, he successfully defends. But if he doesn't, and Otak gets the 5x, that's gonna get very tricky to deal with. Let's see. Mime in the lead before the first identity. Early inside ice slide. We'll be late for this turn. The others are gonna catch up. But a great approach there. We'll set him up. And was that Otak off the edge? Because Mime here. 2 beautiful ice slides. 109.42. And a big lead is developing right now. Soldier made a mistake. 1 second behind. The others almost 1 second behind. Except for Evon. 1 versus 1 between the 2 Polish players right now. For 4x the points. Evon has more speed. Getting closer. Only 0.2 of a second. Bit wider on the downhill, but an early turn will make them equal again. Evon catching little by little. Mime just trying to hold on. This is for the league win right now. If Mime drives these next 20 seconds well, he wins the Challenger Division of Trackmania Grand League Fall 2021 season. But no! He's helpless. He's stuck on the edge. And he cannot get up again. It will be Evon who takes this one into the finish line. And now anything can happen. Anything can still happen. This comes down to 1 round of Trackmania. If Otak wins, he wins the league. If Mime wins, he wins the league. If none of them win, Mime wins. All eyes on Otak. This is the opportunity he has waited for. There is a chance here that he can win the league with 1 final snipe in 1 round. As Revolution crashes, he's out of the fight. 8 players remain. And we need to take a look at Mime. For now, the fate is in his hands. No mistakes yet. So much at stake here, though. Otak driving fast up front. Energize keeping up. Mime as well. Not too far. Soldier DNFs. He will not make top 8. Link has a chance at top 8 if Link wins. But Link goes wide. Link goes very wide. This is an awkward setup for the ice slide. He will maintain the gear as they now weave through the first part. Need to build up speed for the multi-lap here. Link a little bit wide, a little bit awkward. And it will be the 2 favorites, Otak and Mime, in first and second to battle for the trophy here. The difference is 0.26 right now. But Mime has to try to close this gap. He almost had it in the last round. It can't slip away now. In the last round. There is so many points to be multiplied for Otak. 415 if he wins. And he's only 0.3 away from denying that and securing the trophy. 0.2 now. Can Mime close this gap, or will young Otak win the Challenger League? It's coming down to the ice slides here. 2 more ice slides to decide the league. Mime going at full speed, trying to set up early now to gain the deficit, but Otak staying strong. Better approach from Otak, more speed, and into the last ice slide. It will be Otak for the win. Otak takes it. And with that, Otak wins the Challenger Division of Trackmania Grand League Fall 2021. He's known for going for the 5x. He goes for it in the final step. And how fitting that he beats Mime in the last round to do it. Otak wins. Rossi secures top 8. Barely ahead of Soja, who almost had it. And the players we will be seeing try to promote themselves to Grand League next season are Otak, Mime, Evon, Hedra, Wosal, Energize, Miquatro, and Rossi. Those are the players that have a shot at Grand League next year. We will now have a short break before we continue. At 8 o'clock in 53 minutes, there will be the Grand League Division, the top 16 in the world. This was Challengers, which is one step below from 16 to 32 in the world. And in that time, we are gonna just quickly speedrun Cup of the Day because, yeah, guys, we have 2 minutes to set a time on this map and qualify for Cup of the Day. So let's just hurry. Wait, you can't see my game. There you go. All right, let's go. We have 2 minutes. We need to set a time. It's a he still map. It should be pretty simple to find the way. And then we have 7 minutes to improve. But this might be my worst ever division in Cup of the Day. Just because we have no time to do this. Okay, that's a simple turn. That's a drift. I see that. Cool atmosphere here, though. I do like the look of the track. Bit confusing with all these gates to see where the route is. But, you know, it looks like we're making good progress. Just gotta find out where the finish line is. Oh. In the cave? Oh. Okay. So to the right and then to the left. Alright, we set a time. At the very least, we have a time on the board. Now we gotta use the last 6 minutes to improve. We need a... Because this is a terrible division. I would feel so bad if I end up in 2000th place in the qualifier. Then I don't think I will be allowed to play. That would be very unfair. So, gonna try here. Oh, you can go there. Okay, cool line. That's a sharp turn. I remember that. Yes. And then the cave. 45, 46. 292, already a bit better. Still not good. You need to go high in this first turn, I think. This is full focus right now, guys. We gotta... we gotta use every second we have, but... what I said earlier is we're doing this, couple today, and then Grand League final step, right after. We usually have just enough time to do both, so... that's the plan for today as well. Oh, that's an awkward place to gear up. Okay, keep the gear. Good. Oh, a bit too wide here, though. No, I crashed -5. Okay. I'm crashing a lot of runs. I should try to get every run to the finish line, because it's at the point where just clean driving will get me a PB. There is probably some way to get that gear super early. The gear I'm struggling with, if I can get that just a little bit earlier, oh, I'll gain so much time. Because it happens right on this turn. And that's bad. Oh, no. Okay. I remember this turn. Okay, but it's progress. It's progress. I gained a second. That's a 44. I need half a second more. Half a second more, guys, to get Division 1. I think if I can sub 44, we're in. But we only have 3 minutes. Oh, can you get it there? I don't know. I think you can get the gear. It's just very difficult. Because it's built on the gear shifts, which is so weird. Unless I'm doing something wrong. Thank you guys for the hype train, by the way. I'm just trying to focus. 44.5, 155th. Okay. I need to go faster. Come on, come on, come on. It's at least a little bit better. I could try a lower gear run. But that's also really strange. Yeah, okay, I think it's lower gear. I think I'm just gonna do lower gear for now and see if I can do upper gear later. You don't want to get a gear shift in the middle of a turn there. So you either slow down
this is your monthly reminder
to avoid the gear,
sub badge.
or you go fast.
The 3-year sub badge in advance. P.S. Cookie shopping trip was a success.
Thank you. One sec. Bad timing, because we're really in a time crunch here. But thank you so much. Oh no, come on. 2 more runs. Actually, it's only 1 more. No. Okay, at least I didn't gear up. Okay, last try. This is gonna be so bad. I feel so bad for the Division 5 players if I get there. Oh, I had to release. It's Division 3, guys. Division 3 with 6 minutes. Oh, we're gonna smurf. We're gonna smurf. terribly sorry to Division 3 players. I'm terribly sorry. Cam, thank you for the 29-month resub, by the way. That's not great. But I stand by what I said, though. I think if you get 43 there, you are Division 1. Smurf Sunday? Last Sunday I was Division 1, almost won. Also, Geek, thank you for the raid from the Trackmania channel. Hope the stream went well. How does Elkin get this gear? Listen close, guys. Oh my god. Not that. That is impressive. Oh, that's so impressive. He solved all my gear problems with one move. Yeah, really inside. Okay. That's something. Because, like, I was so surprised the gear shifts happen right before turns. But if you drive well enough, like, really good, you can avoid those shifts. Should have watched the world record earlier. I have 6 minutes to qualify. Do you think leaving the server, watching world record, and then driving 2 minutes is a good strategy? It's not. No time for that. You have to work with what you have.
This guy Sigma is fucked, dude.
But if you go high enough...
VOD.
Oh no, that's difficult as well. I don't know if I like his lines, to be honest. For consistency, I might do something else.
This guy Sigma is fucked, dude.
Smurf of the day SMA. At least win the div now.
I usually do pretty well when I get Division 2 or 3 or whatever. Win depends on who else is smurfing with me. But usually I do pretty well. Last time I was Div 3 I won. Last time I was Div 2 I won. But it depends. Let's run the server.
This guy Sigma is fucked, dude.
Also, Tion, thank you. Lunovich, thank you.
My friend ruined the
Everyone,
word
thank
strange
you.
by pointing out that it's short for straight cringe.
Ruined the word strange by pointing out short for straight cringe. I don't think it's ruined. I like the word strange. What am I drinking? Water. I had a terrible voice crack in the cast, man.
In Div 3, right?
I had a terrible voice crack, and I tried to drink enough water. Oh my. My voice. Come back. I miss you. It hasn't been. You guys are just gonna say real voice, but I haven't had voice cracks in so long, and it's just because I'm straining my voice by doing a lot of voice lines and casting and whatnot. The real voice, yeah. Yeah, guys, we're Division 3 today, but consider this your TMGL break entertainment. You can watch a clown in Division 3. We have some good players here. I recognize some names you'd see in Division 1 on a good day. Rewarg, for example. Loser is here. Fatalis. There's a couple of people. Let's see how we do in the no knockout round. Like, keep in mind, Division 3 is still top 190 out of 3,000 players. So, like, yes, Tech W, it's not Division 1, but there are good players here. It's not like the skill level in Trackmania is Division 1 and then bad, you know? It might seem that way, but it's not like either you're Division 1 or it's just trash. These players are good. There's some like, yeah, these... Everyone has their bad days or days with 7 minutes. Just 7 minutes to qualify. Parsival. Oh, Wally. Is this RTA Wally? Probably. Casting TMGL is still bad, yeah. Nice also, yeah. 43 is good though. 43 is a really good time. For rounds. I think my personal best is still 44.3. So I need to figure out how to game this. Oh, I think I want to go higher here. Even higher than what I just did. And then of course this was a bit awkward. Yeah, this was pretty awkward. But Mika is not here, guys. So did Mika get Division 4? It's possible he got Division 4. Ah, unlucky. Auto Nexus, thank you for the 2 months. Boggs, thank you for the 3 months. That's a nice time. Let's see what the thing is. I have a 44.32 personal best. Did you guys see that yesterday's track of the day had a shortcut, by the way? I mentioned so much how Chroma's auto time was likely unbeatable, and then the track had a shortcut. Chroma has tried twice now to set unbeatable full speed auto times, and both times the map has had a shortcut. I feel so bad for him. Because like, he has set really good auto times, but just every time there's a shortcut. Like first you have to get it to track of the day with that auto time, and then someone finds something. PB? Okay. Improvement. The shortcut was immense, he's mad at you? Oh, Shadowcrans, were you the one who found it?
This guy Sigma is fucked, dude.
Yeah, like, yeah. Next time he has to set an easy auto-melts, people won't look for cuts? Ah, smart. Now, I really wonder, like, who's gonna set the first unbeaten track of the day auto-melt, right? So far, every single one has gotten beaten. If anyone can, like... Is there any player who's so good at something specific that they could effectively set, like, a unbeatable auto time? Chroma is that level in full speed. Mika on ice is also that level, but he did that and then he went easy on the auto level. Like he didn't grind it as hard as people might have expected to. Me on RPG, I could build an RPG map and set a virtual auto time. I could build a bobsleigh map and do a bobsleigh auto time. Oh, Wally's out, by the way. Let's see. Let's get start. Late gear change there though means that... Oh, I did get the gear, but I'm too wide. Oh, okay, weird. Wait, this is a bit bad. Ah, it's probably fine. Yeah, we're fine. All stars have allowed for you to keep your full author time collection. I think you're the only one, Shadowcrans, right? I think Shadowcrans is the only one with all author times. Dance game? Guys, this happens when you cast a lot. I don't know. I just noticed in casts, I get a lot of air in my body. Must be all the copium I'm inhaling. PB? Okay, we're going faster. I like it. Do you final Enigma and I will gift 500 subs? No. You better tell Mudgy for the duo cast? I mean, I'm just gonna hit the mute button and then we're good. You guys don't know because I mute when this happens, but when I mute, there are some like primal roars coming from my stomach whenever I mute in TMGL. You guys are just jamming to music in between the maps. And I'm I'm making air leave my body at a fast pace. Oh. I feel like I jumped too wide here. That's faster. PB. Good. If you win today, we'll give 20. Keep in mind we're in Division 3. Alright, Fatal Fire? I don't want to scam you. This is Division 3. The players are beating me right now, but it's not as high level as Division 1, of course. After TMGL, I only had 7 minutes to do the qualifier. And thus, I ended up here.
I see a lot of people mentioning Karjan and just how good he was. Though I have seen some videos of his play, would you consider actually making many documentaries on legendary players?
I think that could be fun. Or more videos about maps where like one player really shines. Karjan is very arguably the best tech player in the game. Or one of. I mean, there's eras, right? Like, I think he was world champion in 2009, 2010. There was a year where... So, Frostbuel used to be the best. Frostbuel used to be the clear best player And then there was this huge upset when Kargin beat Frostbuel, also from Sweden. Sort of like the new heir to the throne. Because no one could beat Frostbuel at the time. But I don't know if he won a world championship title.
This game is advertised as playable on keyboard, but if that's the case, why can't I use my Akai MIDI keyboard? I want to jam with sick tunes while playing.
I think with some extra setup, you could probably play this game on a Yamaha. It might actually be possible.
Is this where I sim Perizal?
Yes, that would be the spot. He won World Cyber Games? Oh. I thought Bergie won. I know Bergie was there. Heronidium, thank you for the 3 months. This map looks cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Wait, is Shamsi here? Oh, no. What key do I use for break? Left shift. Left shift. Oh. Oh. This map is a gear eating simulator. I'm eating all the gears. Faster. Oh, good speed.
This guy's Sigma is fuck, dude.
Tasty, yeah, very tasty. Rose God, thank you for the 4 months. Why isn't Cardin in TMGL? He's not interested.
This guy's Sigma
I remember
is fuck, dude.
hearing a couple of years ago that he was considering it, but it fell through. Like for many people, even the best players, Trackmania is just a hobby. So like you cannot commit like 50 hours of practice to it every week. It's just something they do for fun. Even if they're really, really good at it.
Hello, my goal is to become the Trackmania World Champ, but the only controller I own are the Donkey Konga bongos. I might not be the fastest monkey on the track right now, but you'll all be driving to my beat eventually.
Good luck. There's a man with quite a lot of practice you have to beat first. You're not the only one. Timbuk, thank you for the Prime. Destroyer, thank you for the 7 months. Alright, now it's starting to get pretty close. The rounds have been a bit autopilot, but let's try to get 43s here. Let's try to get 43s. Good gear shift. Oh. Okay. More of that would be amazing. Will I bring back Dance Mat? I think it'd be fun, yeah. I've had it packed away, but I did bring it to the house. Kriggs, thank you for the Prime. Welcome to the vibe. Top 16. Okay. Now there's only 2 players eliminated each round.
This guy Sigma is fuck, dude.
Already 1 year ago since I subbed. And still enjoying your great content.
1 year
Keep it
resub.
up.
Who could this be? Snelly Osford, thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back to the live. Thanks so much. Who am I secretly rooting for? I mean, I think it's a huge story for Granati if he wins. He's really put in a lot of effort this season, so should he win the Ground League, I'd feel really happy for him. Also huge for Offie. Wait, what just happened? What was that? Where did my speed go? I lost 5/10 to nothing. Okay.
This guy Sigma is fuck.
So yeah, Grenadier and Offie I think are huge. Also Moda is
Did
great
PB for me
sport,
and
so
got in with Wirtual smile.
would be fun for him if he gets the 5x on a ice map as the last map. Sage, I thank you for the 5 months. Division PB for you. You got into the same division as me? Oh, awesome. He switches to keyboard on ice? Seriously? That's crazy. So Granati plays steering wheel and then on the ice part he goes keyboard. That's actually wild. If he makes that work. Because keyboard is better for ice. Okay, this has to be a lower gear. Still a lot of good players left in here, boys. There's still a lot of good players left. Parcel out, so we have Soup, Johan, Frisuil, Balaco, Cube, Rarg, Toad School, Master Arnohuris, and Ionix. Alright, see. Ultimate Gamba, is it for the win already? Are you gambling for the win? I am smurfing, so... on accident. No, that's low. Good save. Didn't lose a lot of time. That move. That's a nice time. Ionix with a 43-3. This guy's smurfing too, guys. This guy's not a Division 3 player. On God. You don't drive 43-3 in Division 3. World record was 43-1. That's personal best, I think? No, it's not. Well, I can do like pretty steady pace, but I can't do the 43.3 pace. We'll see what happens. Do I know the Div 3 players? I recognize the names of a couple from other competitions and whatnot. And some players, like, the thing about Division 3 is, I mean, many of these players are Division 1 on a good day too, so. Oh. Good swap. Thanks. Oh, I have to go close. Good move. Ooh, that should not have been PB pace. It must have been the inside approach in the middle and the early end turn. The early end turn probably did it. Let's see. Top 6. Oh. Big mistake back there. Oh, that's so wide. Yeah, I feel like it's me versus Vionics. I feel like it's me versus Mr. V right now. He's driving real consistent fast. I'm closest base. See? Is it really fair to call him Smurf? No, it's more like a compliment. Like, you're driving fast. You don't belong in Division 3 is what I mean. I have found a worthy opponent. Oh, it's so inside. Ooh. Don't like going too close there. Close round. Top port. Oh, come on, game. That should have been up to gear. I don't. Oh. Okay, I need to explain myself here. I have secondary respawn down to my normal respawning key. Because I was hunting the track of the day shortcut I mentioned where you do a fast respawn. So when I tried to normally respawn, I got a fast respawn, and then I tried another button, and that was give up, which is unfortunate. But I saw there are times I probably wouldn't have recovered from that crash. Oh wow. Let's see who wins. Cube versus Mestral versus Cube. Oh, Vionics, not Cube. Cube is a little... Oh, no. He realizes it. He realizes it. Unfortunate for him, too. It's Vionics versus Master. Hugo, thank you for the prime.
I feel your pain, Viet.
Wow, thank you for the 2 months. No worries. I mean, I'm not too upset. It's Division 3. We are just waiting for the step. Levon got second today? No. Poor guy. How is that BM? I mean, for me personally, whether I win or lose a Division 3, it's like... I tried my hardest to win and I failed. But it's... yeah. Oh, did they BM the finish line? Ah, okay. Well, final round. Let's focus on Vionics versus Maestro. I like calling this guy Maestro, so I hope he wins. I'm sure he loves hearing it as well. He's keeping up with Vionics. Good dirt line. Oh, gets through the gap. He is gaining. Early landing. Needs a good tech turn. Needs commit. Needs commit. Commit. And then send the last turn Maestro for the win. Will Vionics catch up? No. Denmark takes it. And Maestro with the victory. All right. Okay. Good snipe. Wir will. Well done by that guy. All right, now guys, we're about to begin Trackmania Grand League. Step number 8. We've had a long season, haven't we? We started all the way back in October with the first step. Let's take a look at the schedule. October 17th. The season started now. We're all the way at step 8. December 5th. This is the final one of the regular season. Next weekend we have final chance. The week after that we have the final. And then in January we have head-to-head. Let's take a look at the standings. As we speak, this is what the league looks like. We have Uffy in first place, 928 points. Only 18 points ahead of Grenadi. And the way we saw it in Challenger League, this is going to come down to the final round. I think if you're Gwen here, you're going for 5x. I think if you're Massa, you're going for 5x. Nothing to lose at that point. And there's a huge battle between, say, 7th place and 12th for reaching top 8. You can see Pack has 677 points, and Bren has 609. They're very close in that region. And only the top 8 make it to the playoffs. So a lot can happen. A lot can happen for sure. We have the new map pack, of course, with Icy Snake as the final map. Finally some ice on the tracks. And this one with that zigzag turn that you can see in the bottom picture. That is difficult to do, precisely. But players like Mutta, players like Gwen, players like Massa, who are really good on ice, they are going to be gaining a lot there. Huge advantage for them going into the final step. So, give me 1 minute here. So that's really what's at stake going into this one. And of course, Carl Jr. has already said that he cannot play today. He's attending some event. So for that reason, he can't play the final step. And he will have to try in the final chance next weekend for a chance at playoffs. He will not qualify through the regular way. Another interesting stat, just taking a look at the standings. You see Massa in 6th place? He has never, in the 6 seasons of Grand League, been in playoffs. If he is successful today, it will be Massa's first ever Grand League playoffs after 2 years in the league. That could be huge. So some high hopes for Massa, who is going for playoffs. High hopes for Gwen, Uffy, Arel, Grenadi, maybe even Pack, fighting for the victory in the league. We don't know how this is going to stack up. But it's going to be exciting. It starts in 8 minutes. And if we take a look at the leaderboards, the players still have had a couple hours of practice. Maybe there have been some changes behind the scenes. Maybe. Let me see here. Okay. The first map, Launchpad. Nothing really new here. Oh, wait. Kappa. With a third place time, 6:24.88. Just an hour ago. And not only that, Kappa also set the world record on bolt holes yesterday. I think Kappa is really preparing for it.
Twitch annalates, Paul banning pornos, contrawengels.
Do YouTube and Twitch react different with swear words in Norwegian and English? No, I think it's about the same. But guys, I'm gonna mute alerts now. Thank you, Mushi. I'm gonna mute alerts because we're about to start with the stuff. Thank you, though. Kappa also set the world record on bolt holes. So Kappa is actually preparing a lot for this stuff. He's in second last in the league, and there's a chance that he might do well today. Mudda with a world record on Grasshopper 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago. So, but this map was updated. But Mudda's pretty good here. Throttling Act, Grenadi world record. This is a very strong time. Don't think we'll see that in the match, as we saw a lot of falls, but 2 hours ago from Pack, new personal best. 40 minutes ago from Bren. 6:08, 6:09 is the time target. And then Icy Snake, where Mudda has a 2:15.64. He can consistently put out 2:15s. Massa also seemed to be consistent around 2:16 low. And I think that's going to be the benchmark. Look at just how close this is in terms of pace, right? 2:15, 16, but it's all in this region. And the players you're seeing here, like Gwen, they have a better personal best offline. They're practicing in secret. This is gonna be spicy. I have to boot up my game, get on the server, but then we have step 8 of TMGL. Tell your friends. It starts in 5 minutes. You still have time to grab a drink or some snacks. You still have time to call your mom and tell her that you love her. I don't know. We have some minutes to kill, but yeah. We're soon gonna get into it. Can you call my mom? I think that would be a bit inappropriate. But if you first call your own mom, I'll allow it. Guys, we are almost ready here. Let's follow the final warm-up from the players. Now, let's play the who's missing game. Can anyone spot? Okay, Carl Jr. is an obvious one, but who is the other player missing from the server? Anyone know? Oh, Pack. Instant spot. Hi, chat. Well done. Watching the warm-up. Oh. You know, they make this look so effortless, but if you get too much speed into that ice turn, you will fall off. Can be sketchy. Okay. Let's take a look at Mudda, the world record holder on this map. 2:15.64. It's the time the others have to go up against. And thinking about Mudda's position in the standings today, it is highly likely he will go for at least 3x. At this level, I don't know if you can afford to wait for the 5x, but I think Mudda, knowing how good he is on this map, 3x or 4x or even the 5x. I think the same can be said for Gwen. And looking at Offie and Grenadi, I think they will have to go for about the same strategy to keep up. Because Mudda will win the league then. If they only get a 2x and Mudda gets a 3x, he probably will win. Pack should be joining any second, guys. This is the last step, yes, of the season. There is Pack, and that means we are about ready to begin. So here we go. Let's go through the standings one more time. Offie, ahead of this final step, is currently in the lead with 18 points. Grenadi in second with 910. Mudda in third, very closely followed by Arel in fourth. We have Gwen, Musa around the same spot, and then from 7th all the way to 12th, it's super close. There's only 60 to 70 points differentiating those 5 players. And a lot can happen there with the point system, with the multipliers. And then there's a big gap down to the bottom 4 where they will fight to get better positions, most likely, as getting playoffs is a little out of reach unless you get a superb step. So it's going to be a battle for the win, a battle for the top 8, and a battle between the bottom 4 players for staying alive in the league. Here we go on to the very first map of the step, which is Launchpad. Launchpad built by the developers themselves. We've seen this in 6-lap format, in 2-lap format, and here's back for the last time as the opener map to the step. Here you have to manage plastic driving and ice turns, and then in the ending you have to do a really difficult reactor booster jump across the stadium, turn the car around, and go into the finish mid-air. That is not easy to do. We know the man to look at here is Gwen, as he set the world record on the track in a live round last week. 6:24.72, the new record. And a lot of players in this field are close to that. Musa with a 6:24.80. Mudda with a 6:24.9. They're all around that pace. And we also saw Kappa just 1 hour ago set a new personal best of 6:24 himself. But it looks like we have one more warm-up while players get themselves settled on the server. Now we're back on Launchpad for one full warm-up, and then we are going to start. So let's take a look at the warm-up. Who has prepared the best? We know Gwen is fast here. He goes for this high line on the start. That looks like it's going to lose time, but you have more speed across the entire grass stretch here. And it ends up gaining a little bit. That is just one of the tricks that Gwen does on this track. There's, of course, a lot of other things you can do here to gain time, such as a very precise ice slide here that Mudda will show us perfectly how to do. Mudda, one of the best ice players in the game. And here he went for a little bit much in the warm-up, but this is a map that really suits him. It suits Gwen. We've also seen, I think, Massa do pretty well here. At least he has a good personal best on paper, but all of what is in the past is in the past. They have one race coming up on this for the next 6 minutes. And there, anything can happen. Only trying to set some expectations here going into the final step. Also, some eyes should be put on Bren today, as Bren is one of the players with the best 6-lap performance in the league. Some community members have ran stats on how players perform in the 6 laps and in the multipliers, and Bren is currently the second best performing player in the 6-lappers, gaining around 385 points in 6 laps alone, which is second only to Granati, who has gotten 450 points in the 6-lappers. So Bren in 12th place in the league, despite being the second fastest in the 6-lappers, really needs to get a big multiplier today. The 6-lappers, he has been very consistent, but can he get a good time on the last map? That's really what should be his focus today. We see a very early mistake from Massa, plus 14. Must have failed big time. On the ice or the grass, did not catch that one. But here we go towards the first identity part, the jump through the rings. Gotta line this one up to get through. Brinks almost too high, but he saves his line. Looks like some players had to release to avoid crashes there. But after all is said and done, everyone survives except for Mutta, who clips into the start of lap 2. And that did look like a costly mistake. Will be more than 2 seconds lost there, 2.7 away from 8th place, so about 4 seconds away from the lead after that fail. And apart from that, it is anyone's game. Offie, though, leading ahead of Gwen right now. Offie really trying to defend his first place in the league. Only holds that gap by 18 points. But we know that Gwen can be pretty crazy when it comes to going for the 5x multipliers. In the step where this was the last map, Gwen got the 5x multiplier here and got 350 points total that step. So he really can perform Gwen when he is on a good day with practice. But Offie really wants this title. Both Gwen and Offie qualified to Grand League in the same season. That time they kind of looked like Otak and Mime did this year, where they were just levels and leagues above everyone else. Now, side by side here in the lead, the two rookies from last year, way ahead of all the other TMGL players. Crazy to see how well they are doing on this map particular. But now a really close fight for the remaining spots in the top 8. The green positions, as you see, are worth down to 15 points if you get 8th place. And the red positions, you only get 5 points maximum. So 8th place, 15 points. 9th place, 5 points. You really don't want to crash like Papu just did, because that is going to cost you a lot of time. And we have a reset. Seems like something here has gone wrong on the technical side. So now let's see if I think we're missing Massa. I think Massa had a disconnect, but we are awaiting information here. Could be a multitude of things. Also, should be noted that Carl Jr. is attending an event in real life today, so he wasn't able to play the step. And with that, he also, as we look at the scoreboard and the league rankings, you can see that Carl Jr. in 11th will not make it to top 8 in the point standings. But there is still the final chance event happening next week, where he and all the other players that end up in the bottom 8 have a chance to qualify. Only one player will make it through that event, though. If you take a look at the match schedule real quick, you can see that December 12th, we have final chance, and followed by the finals the week after that, where the winner of the playoffs is crowned. That's going to be a very exciting tournament. They are playing one lap format on all these tracks. So I think this, yeah, I have it here. These are the playoff maps. Poolside, high-pace map, really close rounds. Launch pad, this one has a shortcut when you're doing it in one lap. You have Pole Party, Bolt Holes, and Icy Snake. Very close maps for the playoffs. And I think that's going to be a real treat. That is December 19th. Bit of an early Christmas present watching that tournament. But yeah, it's going to be very exciting when that starts. But as we are still waiting to have the tech issue resolved, you know, it is unfortunate when these things happen. But at the same time, it's always best to just iron out these things early on in the step, instead of later on. The players are reconnecting now, and they've started driving in the warm-up, so we should be getting underway any minute with the first round. Just waiting here for the go signal. This does put a little bit of a spanner in the works now for all players. I mean, some players who crashed, like Papu, like Massa, they get a second chance. Whereas other players, you know, like Offie and Gwen, who were up in first and second, might feel like they lost out. But at the same time, there could be a boost in confidence. If you're driving well, you feel like you can do that again. And then, what's the problem, you know? But it's hard to adapt to these situations. But now we are live once again on Launchpad. Hopefully, everything will go smoothly from here on, so we can enjoy about an hour's worth of Trackmania esports with the 16 best players in the world, or 15 today, as we are missing the one and only Carl Jr. But let's see the first map here, Launchpad. The players across the ice now. Gwen actually missing his ice slide, and we saw one player slide out on the ice. That was Binks, who lost his grip, falling off the track 4 seconds behind there, out of the opening. Much closer field here already, though. Only one big mistake in the first minute of driving. But we are coming up to the identity. Gotta line up this jump from far away. Soar through the sky and through the checkpoint. I think we saw one car go off there. That was Tween. Whereas the others did all make it. Very impressive stuff there. Massa almost falling off the edge, but he's still alive, just barely. Really pushing it close to the limit, though. Only leaving a couple of pixels between his car and the edge. A really good ice slide here from Massa. Another good angle. Should give him a couple of positions. You can see how much you can gain there in that one segment. If you're really good on ice, there are a couple of players in this field that you could call ice specialists. Mutta is one, Gwen and Massa really stand out in particular on ice, as they've practiced it a lot and they do really well whenever there are ice hearts. So no surprise seeing Gwen and Mutta in first and second. This is something that really suits them. And you can see it here. Both getting a new fastest lap. And now the pace up front is crazy to try to follow. 1:03.3 fast lap. Fastest lap is very difficult to drive, even for these players. Some might not have driven that ever in practice. And now their opponents are doing it in a live round, so you really gotta deliver to keep up with the level here. Last week we saw... Oh! Wait a second, a name tag disappeared off the screen. I don't know who that was. Was that Grenady? With a small mistake. Dropping down to 13th place. Last week we saw Gwen getting a 1:02 fast lap and also a new world record on this track. 6:24.72 for 6 laps of driving. And I think they may well be on that pace again, because if you see this field stretched out like this, you know someone's pulling off some miracles. And Gwen, 1:03.04 fast lap. Now half a second ahead of Mutta. And then 1.5 seconds ahead of everyone else. And they are not driving bad pace here. Like, these players have not made any mistakes. They're just not willing to follow a madman into the flames of risking like there is no tomorrow. Gwen is driving ridiculously fast right now, and no one really wants to keep up with that. But it's a huge field, really close between everyone else. So you have to wonder, how long can Gwen keep this up for? How long can he drive that pace? I mean, at some point you push a little bit too much, you go a little bit too fast, it might end in disaster. But for now, it's a joy to watch as he is leaving the entire field in the dust and is actually well on his way to another world record, I think. 3 seconds ahead of most players, and they are still in a close fight. Want to remind you, top 8 get 15 points at least, whereas the 9th place, the first red position, only gets 5 points. Which is why if Scrappy here can overtake one player, he will feel much happier about his result. They are so close in this group right now. We do see that Mutta has actually not lost any further time to Gwen. He is keeping up on this 1.6 second gap. But I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about this run, and then he's looking at the splits thinking, what is going on up there? What is this guy doing? Gwen again delivering into the last lap, 5:19. There is no way. Gwen is about to beat the world record by 1 second. There's like, this man is so damn good at this video game. It is almost unheard of how fast he is at the game of Trackmania. Keep in mind, only 18 years old, Gwen. Still so much time. Oh, he released a little bit. I mean, he has the win secured. I don't think he cares too much if it's world record or not here. But so much to look forward to for Gwen in the next years in Trackmania. Really has sprung up into the scene, and now he's dominating them. Could be the next grand champion of Trackmania. Let's see here. Clocks in 6:23.15. A world record by 1.6 seconds. And let's say well-deserved 27 points. I think you could say that's well-deserved. Really great round here by all the other players. 6:28, the 8th place time from Bren. Barely beating Pack. And Kappa and Grenady, who does not get the big points here. And Offie as well does not get the big points. So this is big for Mutta. Trying to catch up, this is big for Gwen. If you look at the overall rankings, you can see here that the 2 leaders here did not get a lot of points, Whereas Mudda, Aurel, Gwen, Mossa, Papu, they're climbing. They're climbing fast. And we may see their regular season win come down to the last round like it did in Challenger. We're going to the second map. This is Bolt Holes. New world record set yesterday by Kappa, who has been practicing this week in an attempt to recover from the bottom positions in the standings. 7:54.54, I think, is the time to beat. This track is one of the longest ones, almost 8 minutes of driving. And it ends with this identity right here. The 3 jumps through the holes in the bolts up to the multi-lap. But then you have to consider, they do that 6 laps, meaning over 8, well, it's 18 jumps exactly without fail. If you're a little bit off on one of them, or if you hit a tree or something of the sort, then that is probably going to cost you the entire race. The level is so high that one such mistake immediately puts you out of the fight for the green positions. And they're also going for the most optimal lines, of course, in every single turn. It's the reason why you see such similar approaches, like jumping diagonally here, reducing airtime, and then starting from the widest point on the grass to get a smooth turn through it. Low wall ride to low exit. Here you see a bit of differences in what players prefer, whether they go tight or wide for speed. But then the jumps are going to be pretty identical once again. Just going to line up for those gaps and try to make it to the other side. 3 times per lap, 18 times in a race in order to win. And it is Kappa winning the warm-up here, who we mentioned has the world record and has practiced for this week to try to recover. Let's see how he does. Into the race we go. Oh, but he misses the gear, Kappa, early on. Small mistake at this level, but one that will put him a little bit behind. Speed's gonna equalize as they go down the hill here onto the road. No biggie, only about 0.2 of a second up to Pack in first. Pack who crashed really early on. Was that Bren? No, that was Binks, I think, with the bonk on the quarter pipe jump. Went a little bit too low, and this is not looking like the strongest step for Binks, who is right in that battle for playoffs, the top 8 spots. And if this trend continues, it could be a rough step for Binks, who's almost secured playoffs. Just needs one good last match here. Has to try to recover as best he can as the other players go into the first identity. Who will make it worker with a respawn? Looks like the others have passed it though. Aurel, oh, that's a big mistake. Cannot make the next jump, and that's going to be Aurel far behind in this one. Seems we've lost both Aurel and Worker, while the rest successfully made it to some degree. Scrappy with a 2-second mistake. Though not the worst crash you can have here. Let's follow from Massa's point of view into lap 2 here. Tween, who had the world record before Kappa, was currently in first, but being challenged by Pack. He didn't start off map 1 too strong. Here he is in the fight for first now. Really good jump for low air time. That's going to send him up at first. Smooth line across the grass too. So refined there from Pack. Just these little things that sets him apart from the others. As we now get to the identity for the second time. Kappa going for the left-right approach. This is so risky, but it gives him more speed. Tween has hit the wall, and he will not make the next jump. Tween Dropping down Kappa. Oh my, extremely close to the wall. Massa dropping down as well with a mistake. 4 players now have failed the identity in the first 2 laps. And we see Offie and Grenadi, the 2 leaders of the league, up into top 8. Arel, who is in 4th. Overall standings, down in 14th right now. Not keeping up with the others. Kappa has gone too low on the jump. And Gwen, I think, is the one to clip the hole. No, that was Mutta. Or was it? I don't know. Mistakes happened. I can't keep up. There's too much action. Looks like Gwen is still fine. Up in 6th right now. But just thinking of the implications here. Offie and Grenadi will stay ahead, but Gwen with 27 points on the first map, a fastest lap here so far. Gwen could be building up a massive scoreline if this continues. Because it's all about the multipliers in the end. Whoever gets the big multiplier today could win the season. Papu gets hit by the plastic off the track. And that will not be a good round for him. 7 seconds behind 8th place now. The gaps are increasing. Only Binks here close to Mutta. Apart from that, it's a 4-second gap. Just about. And for the players who are behind Binks, it's almost impossible to come back now. The only way is if anyone in the top 8 make a mistake. But these players are looking very consistent so far. And it does not look likely. 2 seconds now as Mutta's driving fast, extending his lead down to Binks. Almost catching up to Grenadi in 7th. Once again on the identity part, the bolt hole jumps. We see Bren in the distance go for it. Every single player here makes it. Let's turn our attention a little bit further up. Looks like all good. And the last one. All players make it again. A new fastest lap by Bren, immediately matched by a crazy 1:18.32 by Gwen, who's now again driving laps of world record pace. He is not on world record pace, but a couple more laps like that, and he may catch up to Brennan first. It's very difficult to beat 1:18.32. Low jump here, perfectly smooth landing, wide setup for the speed. He is going to get a little closer to Kappa here. In 3rd. But you can see Bren still driving the exact same splits as Gwen, so Bren up front driving a great run right now. He won this map when it was first played in 6 laps with a 6:56, only 2 seconds behind the world record at this moment. Was 1 second behind back then. And he really seems to have found the flow of the map right now, Bren. Looking for 25 points. Gwen trying the low air jump, but he will not make it, and that puts him behind Mutta. He's still in top 8, but only barely, as he's now just within 1 second of RL. Gwen tried to go from right to left to reduce airtime, and he almost pays a big price. But now, if he can stay there, 17 points possible, and keep building his scoreline for the multipliers. It's Bren versus Offie versus Kappa in the top 3, fighting for this map win. Offie to win the league. Bren clipping to try to get playoffs, and Kappa to try to avoid getting relegated. One player from different paths of Trackmania Grand League here. All in contention for the same 25-pointer. Who will get this one though? Who will step up now and try to close the gap? Only half a second between all 3. Offie, really strong lead to have before the identity. He can't afford to do the safe line where you don't go from right to left. You only go straight, but I think Kappa will try this to maybe catch up. He goes from very right to very left, but no, he clips. Has to take the booster to save it, and that will cost him a little bit. Still stays in third. Bren try and catch up, but Offie will win. Ahead of Bren, ahead of Grenadi, who snipes for 100th of a second. And it will be Spam Pack, Nora and Gwen in top 8. Arel with the Sour 9th place, Worker 10th, Papu 11th, Binks, Scrappy, Tween, and finally Massa. Important for Grenadi there to keep up with Offie. Only losing 5 points to Offie here, but still with a chance to win the league. After the first 2 maps, it's Gwen ahead of Mura, ahead of Bren, Offie, Kappa, Grenadi, Papu, and Worker. Now then, we have a quick little break, intermission segment. We have Clash Time, as it's called, where, chat, listen up. You guys are going to control the car. This is Twitch Plays Trackmania. Every step has one of these, and we've actually never won. We have never won this. And this is the final chance in the season. Our next chance to win will be in February, so let's give this one our best, right? You can see the commands on the screen. Looks like it starts with a left turn, followed by a right. A lot of right turns here. Okay, guys, look, the first turn is left. Every turn after that is right. So let's think about this. After the first turn, I think we can all spam right. Is that a good play? I'm just looking. I think that's going to be our strategy. Let's start with left. Left come in right now. Type left, type left. Left. Good stuff, good stuff. Inside approach, baby. Look at us go. Left. Left. Oh, that's beautiful. And now we can all type right. Every turn after this is to the right. So let's work together and type right. Oh, okay, we lost a little bit of speed, but that's fine. We know the strategy. Right, everybody on right. I think it would be good if mods here ban the word left, because we don't need it. We only need right. Let's all work together to go to the right, because that's the play. Oh, beautiful line, boys. Beautiful. Oh, wait, there's a slight left. And we don't have any left commands, but maybe this will work. If we just hug the wall, actually good. Actually good. Full right, though. We need a full right. Oh, no. We need a respawn. We need a respawn. We are respawning 3 times. Let's try to go full right. Full right. Full right. Oh, no. Our win. Our precious win. It's still not over. I think we just spam right. We can still make this turn. Spam right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. Okay. All right. Let's not go. Okay, we can. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Just make it to the checkpoint. We have not collected the checkpoint yet. This could be bad. All right, we got the checkpoint. Mods, you can type RS. Good. Good. Let's see. There's still plenty of driving to be done. We are behind. Looks like Kappa has finished, though. Wait, Gwen, actually, the winner. Okay, full right. You guys know the plan. Full right. Good stuff, good stuff. Go full right. Oh, that's nice. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, guys. Full right. There's a small edge. We need one left tap. One man in chat type left. Thank you. Okay, okay. All to the right, all to the right. And now we just gotta aim to finish. Aim for the finish, boys. Yeah, that's good, that's good. We didn't, oh. We didn't get last. We got 13th. It was the dirt part though that screwed us over. The rest was pretty good. But a little unfortunate. Alright, enough messing around. Let's go back into the action for map 3 of the step, which is Grasshopper. New world record by Mutta set 20 minutes ago. A 6:05. Mutta drove this right before the step began. And last week we saw Mutta try the risky strategy. This map has 2 tricks. You can either drive the identity part normally, or you can do what you see in the video now. The next cut here, where you land sideways and then do a slide and jump to the next platform. We don't think a lot of players are going to go for this, because it is very risky. It is very risky. But Mutta said last week he felt more comfortable doing that line than going for the safe approach. So we're gonna go on board with Mutta here, and there is a chance he will go for it in the match. The final match that may decide who wins Trackmania Grand League. It could be him if he does well here and builds up a good multiplier. But going for this in 6 laps takes a lot of consistency and, well, a sharp jawline, let's say that. In the warm-up here, will he go for it? If he does, he'll go to the left. Oh my god. It looks like he is gonna go for it, Mutta. And you can see now, if you look back, how much this saves. Mutta far ahead of Tween in second. And across 6 laps, this will snowball. This will snowball. Is anyone else trying this? I'm just looking around right now. He's gotta be the only one. He's gotta be the only one. I think we'll see 14 players safing and Mutta going risky. I think the others just don't find it worth it. But let's take a look. We are live on Grasshopper. We know players like Tween and Grenady are 100% gonna save, as they did that line in 2 laps already. The others, most likely they will save. We saw Pack and Musa go for the grass slide last week, but I don't think they will fancy it now, considering how it went that time. So after the opening, I think it's all eyes on Mutta. We know he said he felt comfortable with this, but 6 laps of this trick, it's mental. It's really mental to go for. He's going for it. Lines it up sideways, has to land, has to get the slide, and with this one he lost time. With this slide, Mutta lost time because he did not land in the upper gear. Okay, so a bit shaky of a start, but still alive. You need to keep over 230 speed in the landing to maintain the 4th gear. And that's where it went wrong here. We see Binks in the lead, ahead of Gwen. I think we'll stay on board with Mudda here. Follow the field. And see how he does for the second one. Because you are really going all in here. Once you go for the risky line, there is no hesitation. Like, you cannot back out anymore. It's either that or you respawn. So for the second lap, let's see how he does. He's only 1 second behind 8th. Only 1.5 behind the leaders. He goes for it again. Lines it up sideways. Bug slide, that's a really good one. And he's going to overtake a lot of players, tween off the edge. And suddenly Mudda gained a lot of positions with this strategy. Second lap done now. That was beautiful to watch. Still needs to do it 4 more times here, if he is to find big success with it. Keep in mind, this is a strategy that he is using in a match against 14 of the world's best Trackmania players, and everyone else found it too difficult and too inconsistent for 6 laps. 14 of the world's best Trackmania players. He's the only guy doing it. This takes next level of balls to go for, and he's going for it for the 3rd time now. In 9th. Sets it up sideways, bug slide, instant cancel. Not the greatest, but not the worst, and he will gain time with this. Up to 8th now. Gained 1 position further. Halfway through the race. But how long can he keep it up? Will be overtaken by Pack for top 8. As we see, the others are very close as well. The players doing the safe lines still have a big lead. It's gonna be hard to close for Mudda, even though he goes for the strategy. Binks driving really clean so far. Matched by Spam. Gwen right behind them. But guys, we gotta take a look here. Mudda once again on the identity. Everyone else going to the right. I'll go left. I'll set up sideways. And with this bug slide, I'll overtake all of you. Binks crashing. He's now up to 4th place with this trick. It's crazy to watch. Oh no. Okay, a small mistake. A small mistake from Mudda. Oh no, that's actually big. That just about negates all the time he gained with the trick. But he can afford it, because he has gained time in the identity. We see Gwen versus Spam in the lead. The youngest player versus the oldest in this field. About 9 years between the two. They're both at the highest level. I think Spam has been at the highest level of Trackmania for about as long as Gwen has been able to ride a bike. So, shows the generational difference. Where is Mudda? Oh, he got it again, up into 4th. So he went from 4th to 10th to 5th now. And they're in the final lap. He's only 0.8 behind Gwen in 1st. And the trick does gain almost a second if you do it well. So there is actually winning chances here for Mudda. With 6 out of 6 tricks, he will get the fastest lap. You cannot beat that lap time. Driving safely. But can he catch up to Gwen now in 1st? Almost half a second ahead of everyone else. With a clean, safe strategy 6-lapper. Mudda with more speed up into 4th. The final trick in the final lap. Sideways once again for the slide. He overtakes Spam and he keeps the gear. This is going to be Mudda up into 2nd. But Spam will overtake him once again. But what a performance from Gwen to win their 25 points. Spam in 2nd, but Mudda in 3rd with the trick. Offie in 4th, Grenadi 5th, Bren 6th, Pack 7th, Kappa in 8th. Papu tried the risky strategy to catch up. It's a new fastest lap. Binks in 10th, Arel, Worker, Scrappy, Massa, and Tween. Apu sniping the fast lap there. But those are some huge scores. And I would be very scared right now if I'm Grenadi or Uffy looking at Gwen and Mutta. They have 69 and 58 points each. And those points multiply later on. We have one more 6-lapper. And then we're going to the multiplier rounds where the Grand League regular season will be decided. Let's take a look at a map for Throttling Act, built by Banano. This map, it's interesting because its characteristic feature is a lot of speed and forced acceleration. There's a part here, the identity part, where the game forces you into always accelerating right here on the rails. So if you go too fast onto the rail, you can never slow down. You will just helplessly drive off the edge because you can't make the turn. So going into that part, you need to know exactly how much speed you can carry. Because if you go a little too fast, it's too late. Now, in 2 laps, we saw a lot of players not wanting to win here when they had the chance in 2x multiplier and in 3x. And we also saw Mutta with a huge step win the 5x multiplier on Throttling Act. But the world record here belongs to Grenadi. It's a 6:08:40. It's the time to keep in mind for the world record. And many players have gotten down to around 6:09, 6:10 is where the benchmark is at. Want to take a look at Gwen here on the identities. You can see it. We'll just try to keep as much speed as possible across the rail while not going too fast. Same for everyone else here. Let's see how Massa handles it. Just onto the rail. Try to drive a good line. Now, after the checkpoint, you can accelerate as normal and continue to the next lap. So with that, we are going live on the final 6-lapper of this season of Grand League. Gwen with 69 points after 3 maps. That means that with a win here, he could get up to 94 points. It would be the highest regular season performance we've ever seen. And right now, Gwen is in clear first after just a couple of turns. But yeah, Gwen is really onto something here. You can kind of tell how hungry he is on every single map. But a close field. Arel with an early crash though. Same for Worker. Unfortunate for those players now. Arel was in the fight for potentially winning the Grand League now. It doesn't look too likely, but at least playoffs is secured. Here we go for the first identity. Some cars already flew off. Grenadi, the world record holder, fell off, and the same for Scrappy and Binks, I think. Both fell off the first pipe there. Kappa has lost a substantial amount of time as well. So big mistakes on the first identity, and this might really get dirty with so many mistakes in the first lap. Papu hitting the wall as well. Who can handle this the best now? The top 8 players have all made no mistakes, and the bottom 8 players have. So really already we are looking at a split group. Can the top 8 players now avoid mistakes? Because 2.5 seconds is a lot to try to regain at the highest level of Trackmania competition. Cross the rail again, almost off the edge there for Spam, but he stays on. Off the edge, and a big respawn. Falls behind Binks, who will overtake the 8th place for now. And Uffy had a big chance there to gain precious points over Grenady, but now falls out of the top 8. And Grenady down there is driving a new fastest lap, so he's not gonna give up yet. Oh, Tween, no! This is a terrible respawn because you're kinda forced into a crash. And that brings him down. A new target for Offie to chase to potentially get out of harm's way here. Crashing into a checkpoint is one of the worst places to crash in Trackmania, as you're kind of stuck in a perpetual loop there. But he gets out of it pretty well. Manages the jump and avoids taking the double respawn. As the top 5 players, they all make it. Muddock will follow as well. And I'm curious to see, can Offie get out of the red here? He's so close. If the driving continues like this, then Grenady is not getting out of the red. But Offie has a chance, only need to gain 1 second through the next 3 laps against Binks or Tween. But the others are so far that he really can't catch up. Gwen, though, still in first, ahead of Brendan Pack, who are keeping up with his pace. Bren with the fastest lap. And an inside approach here. Was that intended? It did not look like it. Will Bren make the jump? Oh, no. Big mistake here. Bren has to stabilize now. Oh, it all is collapsing for Bren. One mistake will follow after the other. And all of a sudden, he goes down into 7th. Make that 8th or 9th as Offie overtakes. Oh, it's painful to watch. Just a really bad snowball of events there, where as soon as you're off your line in one part, it transfers to the next, and you can never stop the bleeding here. Though he might have been gifted an opportunity for top 8, as Tween with low speed here is just waiting to be overtaken. That is one of the most costly mistakes we see. Crashing before that wall ride just loses so much time. So Bren will be back in the top 8 with 2 laps to go. Now it is Gwen ahead of Mossa and Spam. And as foretold, Gwen could get 94 points before the multipliers here. The biggest score all season if he stays on the pipes and doesn't fall off. Looks all good. Oh, he has made a mistake here. Gwen did clip on the final jump there before the multi-lap. Mossa within half a second now. But still, whether it's first or it's second, if Gwen gets top 8 here, it is massive. And looking at this, also, Offie in the top 8, Grenady not in the top 8. Grenady is losing ground for that season win. It may just be between Offie, Mudda, and Gwen to win the regular season of Fall 2021 Grand League. Let's not call anything too soon, as Gwen still has the 2 rails to get past. The first one looks all good. Want to remind you, the world record, a 6:08:40. And this is going to be Gwen winning ahead of Spam by the looks of it. Oh, Mossa with the inside line to snipe it. Mudda getting 4th, Pack 5th, Binks ahead of Offie, and Aurel will secure 8th. Gwen now 94 points overall. Huge scoreline. Mudda's gonna have 77. Also an incredible performance. And Offie will have 62. I believe those are the biggest 3 here. 62 for Spam as well in the final step. The ways that this can now flip is crazy. If you don't know the format, I will do my best to explain it. But basically, we're going on to the last map. It's played in 2-lap format. The last map of the season is Icy Snake by Roquette. A really cool technical track with a lot of risk-reward parts. And in the ending, you do an ice turn twice, where good ice players will be able to show their strength. Mutta has the world record here, and he's really good ahead of Massa, who's also good on ice. Scrappy has a good time here. But the format, the way this works, they play 2 laps instead of 6 laps. They play 8 rounds, and every round there's only 1 winner. So if you don't get first here, you lose. Now, let's take a score like Tweens, because it's easy to multiply. Should Tween win this first round, he will double his points, up to 20 points. But if he waits until round 5, the multiplier gets bigger. He no longer doubles his point, but he triples, up to 30 points. And then if he waits until the 7th round, he could quadruple. And if he waits until the last round and wins, he could quintuple 5 times his points, up to 50. So you could either try to win early and get 2 times your scoreline, or you could wait until later and later and get a bigger and bigger multiplier. 8 players will win a multiplier, 8 players get nothing at all. And then if you consider the case of Gwen with 94 points, if Gwen wins the 2x round, he would get 188 points. If he waits 1 more round after that, then he would get 282 points. And this really quickly snowballs. But I believe Gwen has a maximum cap here of 466 points. He could win this step. So yeah, Gwen could really win a lot if he wins the 5x. You see he's only 150 points behind the leader. 470. So there's a lot at stake. A lot at stake. But yeah, these next 8 rounds will decide who wins Grand League. And really, you gotta think about your strategy here. Scrappy already showing he's not interested in the 2x. And this will be the case for a lot of players. Consider the players, we can look at the points right now. Consider the players in this fight for top 8. It is super close between Massa and Scrappy for the points. If you're in that range, you do not want 2x, most likely. Maybe you'll be fine with it. Same goes for the fight for the Grand League win. There's a chance that players like Renati, like Offie, will retire in a chance to get a bigger multiplier. We'll just have to see. But here we go. We're coming up to the identity on Icy Snake. Let's watch the Master of Ice Mutta here to see how he tackles it. Wide setup into a very sharp turn. Early turn to the right here to get a quick line to the right. And then a really early ice slide with a lot of speed through the multi-lap. He will be matched by Massa and Gwen, who are both very good on the ice surface. Binks also showing up here. And I want to point out that Grenadi here, he's playing with a steering wheel. But on ice, digital input is better. So what Grenadi is doing on the ice there is he's using his one hand to go keyboard to do the ice turns to gain more speed. He switches from steering wheel to keyboard back to steering wheel to gain just a little bit more in that section. But we see Massa still in first, ahead of Binks and Gwen. And you gotta imagine that Gwen here, I think he fancies more than a 2x. I think Massa might just want this 2x to secure himself. Is out of reach for the win in the season, so perhaps a 2x will do here. But Gwen is close. We'll see who takes it. Gwen versus Massa on the finish line. And Massa wants it. Gwen DNFs. Already shows his intent here. Gwen with the DNF ahead of the finish line. So he was ready to DNF if Massa DNF'd. Meaning, yeah, he doesn't want 2x. but Musa will close the season, 846. That should be enough for playoffs. That most likely has Musa in his first Grand League playoffs after 6 seasons. That's the first time he qualifies now. So well done to him. But we see Pack and Binks really are at risk there. And Brandon, Scrappy, and Papu could catch up. That is the battle for the midfield. Pack, Binks, Brandon, Scrappy, and Papu. Only 2 of those names that I just read out will be in the playoffs. The other 3 are not going to make it. Super close race here. Tween, of course, nothing to lose. Only 10 points. Could try to deny the 5x in the last round. But here you see Granati on keyboard for these turns, keeping up with the others. And then after this turn here, as soon as he straightens his car, he goes back to the steering wheel. Now he's back on the steering wheel. A really hybrid device driving here. Because if he had only used steering wheel, it would not be as optimal. Scrappy going off the track. He's going to wait for a bigger multiplier. Same for Offie by the looks of it, as he crashed. But now you got to start thinking. Pack and Bren in first and second. Do they want this multiplier? Bren has 57 points. Could he get a 3x later? Or is this his best chance now? No Mudda, no Gwen to fight. They're out of the fight here. No Offie either. Only has to try to beat Pack and Granati in the ending. And to be honest, it looks like they all just want to get it. Bren trying to keep a lot of speed across the snow. That will pay off. He gets closer. Granati off the ice. And it's Pack versus Bren in the fight for the playoff spots. Will Pack secure this one? No, both don't want it. Offie's gonna secure it. Offie takes this one home. And Offie has put all the cards on the table. This is Offie's final score. He was leading the league. He gets another 62 points. 1,052 is the score to beat. Now Granati knows a 2x is no longer enough. If you want to win the season, you have to go for 3x. Mudda with his 77 points. Also, oh, he could get 2x. But I think Mudda's going to go for more. Because Gwen is going to go for more. So Offie the first to strike here. But once we get to 3x, if Gwen, Mudda, or Granati win a round, they will overtake the lead. So I don't know what Granati's thinking right now. Does he want this one? It would be weird to go for this one. But players like Kappa spam in the bottom fight in the league probably do not mind winning a 2x. Just securing some more points. Trying to get a favorable matchup. See Granati open with a 1:09.17. That is the fastest opener lap we've seen all day, both Challenger Division and Grand League. Great pace there for Granati. But a 2x would not be enough. So what is the strategy? Oh, spam crashing out. Binks with a DNF as well. And it is now Granati versus Kappa here. For this 2x. Mudda's close, but yeah, I don't think so. I think it's Granati versus Kappa. Onto the ice. Papu will join for the fight. Only 31 points though. And he probably wants a later one. Let's see what happens in the end here. Who's going to want this one? Will Granati just take it? Granati takes it. Granati effectively says, you know, you can have the potential league win. I'm going to secure 40 more points, and I'm going to be happy with a damn good rookie season. 998, the final score. He probably knows there's so many players going for this 3x and above that the winning chances are so slim. He really doesn't fancy the lottery, and so now he's just going to secure second place and see what happens. It's a risky strategy. Uffy went for the same. Let's see how it pays off for them. Throughout the season, that has been their strategy, to get a 2x and to then rely on their good 6-lap performance to carry them. Whereas we see players like Scrappy and Mudda have gotten a lot of points through their multiplier performances. Always good in the 2 laps when it matters. Those two. And this is the final 2x round. After this, the multiplier becomes bigger. But now a lot is defined up top. Still a lot open in the battle for playoffs. Scrappy leading this lap. 109.20. Great pace there. Want to remind you the world record here, 215.6 is the world record from Mudda. And Mudda is able to drive 215 pretty consistently when he needs to. Has shown over 6 215 runs that he got in practice. Which is a time only 4 other players in the world have. Most players have personal best of 216. But 4 players have broken under 216. Musso was one of them. I think Scrappy was another. And if I'm not wrong, I think Binks was the last one with a 215 time. But here we go towards the end. I don't think Scrappy wants this one. Kappa versus Spam, most likely in the matchup. As Bren might not want it either. We'll see what happens. Bren going across now. He has a good line, but does he want to win? No, he's slowing down. And Kappa retires as well. It's Tween. There's an army of DNFs as Tween wins. That was Scrappy, Bren, Kappa, and Pack retiring. And I don't know if Spam retired or crashed. Alright, Tween securing 10 more points. Gotta check how this looks now in the overall standings. Very close fight there in the bottom 4. Also, for the playoffs, Bren needs to gain 30 points on Papu and Binks. So now in the 3x, he needs to win. If he does that, he will actually successfully do it. Then they would have to go for a later multiplier to secure themselves. Bren with a really favorable spot right now. But Scrappy's also in the mix. And at this point, Scrappy for playoffs, he might have to wait for 4x. 3x might not be enough if the wrong players win rounds, so to speak. Gwen still hasn't won. Mudda still hasn't won. This is gonna be anyone's game, honestly. You gotta figure out your exact strategy right now while driving a world-class lap. What's the play going to be? I think at this point, Mudda fancies the win. I don't think Mudda would throw away a 3x here. I think he knows that this is when we're talking for real. If I win this round, I take over the lead in the Grand League. And then I put the ball in Gwen's court and say, okay, if you can get the 5x, it's yours. But Mudda here should be happy if he can secure a 3x. He's followed by Spam though. He's right behind, only 0.2. What will Mudda do in this round now? Still has the lead. Only the ice part left to overtake first. Can he do it? 2 turns to close it out. The first one a little bit wider than he would have liked, but he sets up the second one good. Spam is following, but Mudda still extending his lead here. Great ice slides. He has it if he wants it. He takes it. Mudda wins that round 2:16.29. A great winning time. And with that, Mudda is now first. Just barely, but by 4 points. The maths check out, and he signs out of the league in first. The only player that can beat him right now is, if I'm not wrong, Gwen. Because Pack with a 5x would not be enough, and neither would RL. It's only Gwen. The winner of the regular season will either be Gwen or Mudda. But how can Gwen win? Could Gwen win with 4x? Yes, Gwen could win with 4x. Gwen could even win already. If Gwen wins a round now, he wins the league. Yeah, Gwen could already win here in the 3x. He has 3 chances to win the regular season, like he did in fall 2020, but this chance almost goes off the edge. Very awkward line to recover here. Oh, that's a little wide. The difference is going to be 0.6, and against the likes of Spam and Scrappy and Kappa up in first, that is very tough to recover. Bren also there. Just 0.2 ahead, but that is so much more realistic to close 0.4 than 0.7, 0.8 now. Yeah, Gwen out of the fight for this. 2 chances remaining afterwards, unless everyone here crashes in this group. Spam though could be a great ending to the season to win this 3x and get a favorable head-to-head matchup against Worker, who is in last right now in the league. Scrappy is close. Tries with an inside approach. Okay, getting a little bit closer. The second one is better too. Scrappy could snipe this in the final turn with a more inside line. Will Scrappy take it? Yes, he will. Scrappy secures the last 3x. And with that, that is 76 points total, if I'm not mistaken. 78. He will jump up into 8th place right now. And Binks, Papu, or Bren need to win once to get the spot, but Papu clips the start. This round is already going downhill for Papu, 0.3 behind. Papu with only 1 chance remaining perhaps, because this is going to bleed time all the way until the drift. Here is where he recovers, 0.4 now. The gap up to first. To summarize, if Gwen wins 1 round, he wins the league. If Bren, Papu, or Binks win a round, they are in playoffs. That is what's at stake here. That is the only big flips that can happen. If Kappa wins a round, I think he could get a favorable head-to-head matchup as well. So that is what we are looking at. Gwen, Binks, and Bren right now. Papu too far behind. And in this round, Gwen opens with the fastest lap, 1:09.25. Is this going to be the victory run? 1 more lap of Trackmania, and if he stays ahead, he wins. 94 points after 4 6-lappers. The biggest 6-lap performance we've seen throughout the entire season. What a way to end it here. Can Binks get close? Oh, Binks really Using all the space on the dirt, not leaving a pixel to spare anywhere. But Gwen is still extending this lead, building up to 0.2 of a second now. A dirt corner remains and 2 ice slides for Game Ward Gwen to win the season. Setting up wide here for the first one, turning in, gotta commit for the full counter steer. He gets that one good. The second one also good there. Is anyone gonna be able to deal with this? Pack trying on the inside, but Gwen with more speed, and with that, Gwen wins Trackmania Grand League Fall 2021 after a 94-point step ×4. Also one of the biggest point performances individually we've seen in the season. 376. That's a GG for Gwen. And now the 5 extra mains. This one decides who goes to playoffs. Right now Scrappy in that 8th place spot. Probably praying that it isn't Papu, Binks, or Bren winning this one. Because if it is, then they will overtake him. Also, if Kappa wins, he could get a better matchup. If Spam wins, could be a better matchup in head-to-heads. Could Spam even make it out of head-to-heads? There is a chance, actually. Spam would get some 300 points here and could get out of the head-to-head matchup. If he wins, could be safe from that elimination match from the Grand League. But Pack right now in first, ahead of Bren, who's played amazingly all season in the 6-lappers, but never really gotten a big multiplier. Now, the one final chance to do so, he slides out, and Spam goes up into first place ahead of Pack now. Looking for safety, Binks has crashed out and DNFs. It will not be him, it will not be Kappa. There are 3 players remaining here without mistakes. It's Pack, Spam, and Papu. Bren is 1 second behind. And it looks like it will come down to Pack versus Spam. And the gap is shrinking. 1 versus 1 here between 2 good friends who've been in Dignitas for many years together, then Expert. And now they're playing against each other in the Grand League. In one final round of the season. 0.10 of a difference before they go to the identity. This really could flip either way. Good luck to both players. First ice slide, Pack with a wider setup, more speed, but late exit. Spam will be able to extend here. And Spam is going to have the grips on this round. One more ice slide, Pack trying, but no. Spam will win. And with that, Spam avoids the relegation match as he overtakes Carl Jr. It is actually Carl Jr. in the bottom 4 match. Something I don't think anyone would have predicted. But with 19 points on his side, Spam is safe. Gwen wins, Scrappy goes to playoffs, and Spam is safe. 3 incredible flips here in the final seconds. Somehow, Scrappy clutches playoffs as Binks, Papu, and Bren did not get a multiplier. Very close. Very, very close there. But that means that playoffs in 2 weeks, we will have Gwen, Mudda, Uffy, Grenadi, Arel, Mussa, Pack, and Scrappy facing off for the playoffs trophy. And we will also have 1 player from the bottom 8 to try to fight their way through final chance. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. What a step. I really quick want to thank Twitchy Muchi. I saw you gifted 25 subs earlier. Thank you so much. I gotta catch my breath. It's so interesting in the final step where, like, Uffy takes a 2x, you know? And then he just says, yeah, I'm done. All you guys now, try to beat me. Same for Grenadi, he did the same. Mudda does everything right. Gets a 3x, takes the lead by 4 points. Puts the ball in Gwen's court, who then has to win one of the last 3 rounds.
What a crazy match.
And then Gwen does.
GG's all around.
And Spam waits for the 5x to try to avoid elimination, and then he wins. That's just absurd. Mob, thank you for the resub. Dang Nabbit, thank you for the 3 months. Thresh, thank you for the 6 months. Tom Shorts, thank you for the Prime. Sonic, Sirabi, Anderson Robin, thank you for the Prime. Twitchy Muchi, thank you for the sub. Thank you guys so much. Anesthesize, thank you for the 8 months as well. Bino and Labernitluch, thank you guys for using your primes on me. I really appreciate that. If you guys aren't following the channel and you want to watch more Trackmania Grand League esports, keep in mind that we will be back next weekend for Final Chance, the match where the bottom 8 players try to secure the spot. Do follow the channel if you're into that or any of the matches coming up. I also stream Trackmania on the regular, so really cool. Guys want to do that. Thank you, Max, for the Prime. Thank you, Crooker, for the Prime as well. People can say what they want about the format, but it is certainly entertaining. Certainly entertaining. It's never over until it's over. Challenger was decided in the last round with Otak versus Mime. And this was also decided in the second last round. Really exciting. Rarik, thank you for the Prime. Chapstick Bomber, thank you for the Prime. Why did Carl not play? He was attending an event. So, I mean, that's up to him, of course, to attend the event instead of playing. But that does put him in the bottom 4 now. And he has a job to do to stay in the league. Norway Cowboy, thank you for the 2 months. How does relegation work? Okay. I don't have the updated standings card, so we'll just use this one, right? Let's say, well, it's okay. No, we can go back here. It's Carl Jr., it's Kappa, it's Tween and Worker. So, Carl Jr. in 13th plays against Worker in 16th. And Kappa and Tween play against each other. Yeah? People shy. People shy. Everyone good so far? Carl versus Worker, and it's Kappa versus Tween. Good? Alright, all good. They first play against one another. So let's say Carl versus Worker, and Carl Jr. wins. Then Worker has to play against one of the winners from Open League, from the Challenger League. And the same for Carl versus Tween. Kappa versus Tween. So in Kappa versus Tween, if Kappa wins, Tween has to play against the winner from Challenger League. And if he loses, then he is eliminated. And the winner is promoted. That's how it works. Oak from Norway, thank you for subbing. Gummy, thank you for subbing as well. Thank you guys so much. Welcome to the vibe. Guys, I gotta get out of here soon because I wanna finish working on a video that I wrote the script for. I have to record it today because tomorrow I'm not home. I am visiting my parents. I've been here now for 3 weeks. I'm gonna go home, see my parents again for a day. But I first have to record a script. So I won't be staying for too much longer, but thank you guys so much. Thank you, Economy, for the Prime. Aliol, thank you for gifting a sub. Remember to type my age, or should I do it? Should I type my age in chat? I have a week to get unbanned. Can you say goodbye with my dream? Goodbye, Molcoin.
Let's go.
David Fool, thank you for the 3 months. So if you don't know, there's a quick way to get your account permanently banned on Twitch. If you're just a regular viewer. I don't think I want to... Do I have... No, guys, hang on. The guy who did it got banned. You know... This is like when you're standing, like, you know when you're gonna jump into the pool from like the springboard and it's 5 meters up? And you look and you're like, oh yeah, I can jump from there into the water. You get up there, you look down, and it's like, oh, it's a big gap. Do a chant? That would be the no. Tell me how to get banned? No. I don't think that's a good idea. Guys, we were messing with this. I don't think I'm actually gonna do it. think about the content. But what if I'm not unbanned in time for next week? Because guys, next week, this is huge. Next week is gonna be so hype. I wanna show you something cool. All right. I've talked to Yuval, who's a great graphical artist. He's really good at doing graphical arts. And he has made a schedule for next week, which I want to show you. Right here. This is a draft, but I will be posting it when it's completely done. We are doing a week of IRL streams with Maji. And this are the plans. There are more stuff here that isn't listed, but these are like the main topics each day. Friday, we're doing Christmas decoration. Saturday, we're baking cookies. Sunday, we're duo casting Trackmania Grand League. That's going to be interesting. Monday, tandem Trackmania. 2 players, 1 keyboard. Tuesday, we're going Christmas gift shopping on Amazon. Me and you chat. Wednesday, we're rating Tinder profiles. Thursday, mapping contest. Friday, showdown tournament. A lot of good content. Maji's gonna stay at my house for a week and we're just gonna do a lot of fun stuff on Twitch. David Fool, thank you for the 3 months, and you'll be, thank you for gifting a sub. So do check this out. This is next Friday for 1 week, and we stream on alternating channels. So my channel Friday, her channel Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You got the idea. So 1 full week of streams. Doesn't this look fun though, chat? Does this look boring? This is a lot of fun stuff. And there's more that we didn't list that we're gonna do. Like maybe build a snowman, because there's a lot of snow. We could do a snowman building contest. Scrot, thank you for the 7 months. Now with that, I will end the stream. I gotta record the script, as I said. But I will see you guys again next Friday. Friday, mark the calendar, December 10th. And with that, who do we raid? Should we perhaps raid Spam for his last minute's X5 clutch? We could raid Spam here today. I think we should raid Spam, congratulate him on saving himself. That was a good clutch. Let's say a hi in his chat. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for cheering and yeah, hanging out in the stream. I really had a great time today. Thank you. All right. It is time to say goodnight. I'll see you guys again soon. And until next time, have a good one, chat.